Open. Also, hello,
Oh.
stream!
We do.
Hi.
Hi, stream!
We are back for the first time in 2 weeks. Better than ever and more nervous than ever.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is going to be interesting. This is going to be the first time I've ever, voice RP this character.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
curious about
Oh,
everything
man.
ever.
Yeah. Okay, so. To recap from last week very brief, or last time very briefly. Actually, let's just catch up on the story so far, shall we? Our band of idiot adventurers met each other in a town called Lyriel, where they all got kind of shanghaied into investigating some disappearances, using their superior CSI skills, which in turn helped them bond as a group. They discovered that it was a pair of demons, succubi and an incubi, succubus and an incubus in particular, pulling some shit. Having defeated both of them, they one of them remembered that demons aren't really a thing, so that was weird. They proceeded northward to the swamp that held Lafayette's old family, the necromancers that trained her, and raised her, essentially, or just kind of provided guidance in her late teenage years. Once there, she found that the entire necromancer coven had basically been wiped out. A message was left for her to go to an ancient burrow that had typically been off-limits. So the party went there naturally. They dove into the dungeon and found a lot of freaky shit. And at the bottom, they found that Laffy's mentor had turned into some kind of abomination. Defeating her, some more freaky stuff happened. They traveled to a Ardor City. Did a task for a tiefling merchant, and learned some of the world's history that seemed like it had been long forgotten. From there, they proceeded up to Ardor proper. Ren was forced to confront an ancient specter from her past, but it wasn't quite a specter, it was actually her sister turned into a vampire. She killed her sister, again.
Awkward.
Yeah, awkward, weird. And that was kind of traumatic for everyone. Ren more so than everyone else. From there, the party journeyed south to make good on the task they originally set out to do, more or less, which was get a cure for Krieg's people that had been slowly dying from some mysterious disease. And the tiefling merchant that they had met had actually been able to help them get a cure. So they took it down south, and quickly discovered that Krieg's people were no longer dying due to disease. They were dying because there were minotaurs attacking. And they fought off these minotaurs and had a very traumatic moment when a Baelor arose. And it was pretty quick for them to piece together that many of these things were related. They continued to see recurring symbolism and actual symbols that made them believe, yeah, this is all kind of coordinated, weird. With Krieg's people safe and more or less in the hands of his mentor, Karog, the chieftain of the tribe, they proceeded to go to Alterel proper to discover what the hell's going on. Once there, they gallivanted a little bit and discovered that Mist's family had actually been traveling through Alterel and had wound up in the capital. Suspicious and a little more than terrified, the party smooth-talked their way into gaining an audience with the Elder Council of Alterel.
We probably
You're welcome.
Against all odds, they wound up convincing the council that there was an actual threat present. Unfortunately, by the time they managed to do so, Mrs. family had arrived. There was a pitched combat against these more or less evil group of moon elves that had raised Mist. By the time they killed all of these enemies, one of them revealed themselves to be Lafayette's other mentor, the now Lich Fridial. Fridial paralyzed or incapacitated the entirety of the group before
Or
opening
killed.
or killed in some cases, yes. Uh,
One
It was a
specific
real
case.
bad
Yeah.
time.
it was a bad time. He opened a portal to somewhere. Mist had to recite a specific riddle to open up the gateway to follow. And when they awoke, they were down one member. Krieg had seemingly stayed behind to help his tribe recover, and perhaps even help protect the world from the threat that is becoming more and more clear by every day. Uh, the rest of the party awoke to find themselves on the outskirts of a strange place. In the distance, they were able to see this very large, kind of glimmering city. Behind them was this giant portal-like structure that was more or less just a solid piece of stone at this point. They had walked through it. And that's where we're going to pick up. Looking around, you guys...
Wait.
Uh-huh.
Here's some things.
Yeah.
One, you didn't mention our sick cleric dog
Yeah.
that we got.
True.
And two, we're playing 5th edition for anyone who's tuning in for the first time. Because I see that there's a few people in the Twitch channel, so...
If there are new people.
Yeah, in the event that there's new people, we're playing 5th edition.
Okay. So, as I was saying, you guys all more or less awoke to find yourselves on the outskirts of this large area. You arrived on what seemed to be kind of a grassy area, isolated from everything else, and there was this big stone wall behind you. And when you when you all awoke, for a moment you could hear it making like a soft chiming noise, shimmering almost. But by the time you're able to actually focus on it, it is again just a solid piece of stone. Looking up, you guys actually see that it's nighttime. But there are more stars than you've ever seen, and they look like they're moving very, very fast.
Oh.
And in the distance, you can see what looks like this very large city that stretches out farther than you can actually see. And you can even see kind of the edges of some large stone walls that look relatively similar to what you popped out of. But you see that there are shapes moving around at the bases of them. So you guys are there. Laffy, Saint, Ren, and Mist. You've just popped out of this portal, as far as you know. You are in an alien land that is, again, wholly unlike basically anything you've seen before. You've had some real bad times up until this point, and you are very far from home, and you have no idea how to get back.
Ren is just processing this real slow. Real slow.
There was a lot of hugging and shit too that happened.
Yeah, Laffy is still holding Mist.
Yeah, Miss still has her arms around Laffy.
If Laffy looks around, can she see any signs of civilization?
Not in the immediate area. You guys are basically in this big open plain, but it's not terribly far to where you do see civilization. Just like, in like a half-mile radius around you guys as far as your ranger eyes can see. It doesn't look like you're connected to anything. But go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay, alright. First roll of the night, not feeling confident about it. Here we go. 18!
Okay. So you look around kind of at your feet a little bit, and you notice what looks like a road buried under the dirt. Not cobbled, but made out of like a solid, pale material, but it looks like it's been grown over and hasn't been traveled on for some time. And it does lead to the civilization that you can see in front of you.
Laffy, she wipes her face and she points down and she goes, I guess this is where we are following. Cause fuck if I know where else to go.
Miss looks like she's got 8 million things to say, but instead she kind of looks around and she's particularly looking at all those stars. Would this look familiar to Miss? As a city and the stars that she saw that one time?
Roll. Let me see. Roll a wisdom check.
Oh boy. Okay. Just straight wisdom.
Straight wisdom.
Nope.
You can't recall if any of this is familiar. The only thing you know is you don't see any of the constellations you grew up knowing.
She's still squinting. She's gonna keep trying to figure out if this is familiar throughout everything. She looks over to the others. She looks to Ren since Ren hasn't said anything yet. See how Ren's doing over there.
Ren is squinting at the grass a little bit, and then after another minute or two, she steps over and picks up the bear totem, and she kind of like looks at it, and then looks at Laffy and Mist.
We have to go. We were sent here for a reason. We can't just stay here. Who knows? What if something else comes through that portal, like the Lich? I mean, I doubt it, but we have to go. And, mind you, she's still bloodied as shit and shit-wrecked from their battle.
Yeah.
Ren looks like she recovered from dying.
Yeah. Mist is like, yeah, we should probably move, but we should possibly find somewhere to rest. I mean, I know we're following through that portal, but we don't know if we went to the same place or not. All things considered.
You guys could always take a short rest.
What does that recover? We've never taken a short rest, so I don't know.
Yeah, what does it do?
I should have looked before I spoke up, huh? Was hoping someone else would remember.
I mean,
this
I
whole
know.
time, we've only been taking long rests.
I know it can recover spells.
Yeah, it'll recover a lot of
Resting.
misspells.
A short rest is a period of downtime at least an hour long. Character can spend one or more hit dice at the end of a short rest up to the character's maximum number of hit dice, which is equal to the blah blah blah. For each hit dice spent this way, the player rolls the die to add the character's constitution modifier to it. The character regains hit points equal to the total.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys can totally just plunk down for an hour and clean yourselves up a little bit, catch your breath, think on what happened, just try and recover a little bit from that. A lot happened.
Yeah.
A lot did happen.
Mist is like, you think, I mean, we don't know what we're walking into either. You think we should just take a little time to sort of gather ourselves a bit?
Laffy looks at Miss and she just... Yeah, you're right. She
Meanwhile,
just
Ren-
sits down where she's at.
Yeah, Ren plunks down and starts attaching like a string of leather or something to the bear totem, and then she attaches it to Saint's collar.
Aww.
Oh, okay. He looks like he's proud to wear it.
Aw.
When you fasten it, he lifts his head a little higher and straightens his dog back and licks you on the face.
Ren like ruffles his head, his ears.
Yeah, Mist is probably writing shit down from what just happened.
During the short rest, can Luffy like try to get a feel for what Saint's deal is, since it looked like he was familiar with this place?
Yeah.
Cause you know, I got the primeval awareness. I can, like, what's his mood? What, like, how familiar does he look? Like, does he look happy to be there? Does he look upset to be here?
Okay. Are you doing that before or after the short rest? Or
Oh,
during
I
it?
can't do it during.
I mean, you
just do
can,
it
but it
during?
uses a spell slot.
Does it use a spell slot? Then I'm doing it before.
Okay. So you guys all kind of sit down. You all catch your breath. Some of you are writing things down. Some of you are, doing stuff. Overall, you're taking some time. And Laffy, you're sitting there just kind of studying Saint, studying the way he's acting.
I make a few like dog snuffles at him.
He pads over to you, and he looks very comfortable here. He does not look like he's worried. He doesn't look like he's in a rush either. He looks like, he's just kind of here with you guys. But you do get the sense that if you're lost, he might be able to direct you somewhat.
Alright, Laffy scratches behind his ear and is like, I think that this is a safe place to rest. Otherwise, Saint would be all bajiggity.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
I like that word.
Yeah.
Bajiggity.
Mist
Okay.
writes it down.
So go ahead and spend your hit dice. Recover what you
How
will.
do we do that?
You
Like,
just like
just
you.
one of them?
Ever many as you'd like.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
But you do not
Yeah.
regain those until a long rest.
Yeah, the idea is you can take like short rests to recover hit points. So if you spend all of them in one short rest, you better hope you don't need another short rest.
Okay, how do we roll these things? Do we just roll
Your
whatever
die.
the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
like
add your
wizard
con.
hit dice and your
All right. So, wait, do you add the con for each roll?
Wait a minute.
or- I'm so confused.
I'm looking at
sorry.
yours, and I don't think yours are 7d8 plus 2d6.
Yeah, I don't know how to fucking do this. Like,
Yeah,
don't you just get one for each level?
Yeah, you have exactly. So you whatever your warlock levels are, you get
Yeah.
those. And whatever
Oh
your
yeah,
wizard
yeah,
level
no,
is,
yeah,
those.
that's right. So yeah, you don't
Yeah,
have
so-
to spend you can spend 1d8 plus 1d6.
Okay.
And now take it down to 6d8 plus 1d6 for the next set.
Okay. Yeah.
And you add your con modifier, so yeah.
And
What
roll-
con modifier
do you add it once or do you add it for each thing you're rolling?
for each die?
For each die.
Okay. I'm sorry. We've never done this before.
Yeah, you guys have never taken a short rest. Luffy, I know yours are not all
busy
on
for short
there,
rest.
so let me tell you what you have.
I have like the amounts equal to my levels, so like
Oh yeah,
5d6 and 4d10.
yeah, that makes
Right?
sense. Yep.
Let's see. I'm just.
Let
gonna
me
do
see
it
if I can. I've never typed in a command before, so
Plus, and that would be plus.
oh, you know what? That way is easier because it makes me more comfortable. Wow, that was great. And
Wow.
then, yeah. Oh, that's better.
Okay, yeah. Mist gets 11 hit points back.
Ren gets 15 because what is Constitution modifiers?
And
Okay.
I get 14.
So after your hour of just kind of sitting around, catching your breath, doing what you will, you guys.
Ren has been turning over the crystal in her hand to
Okay.
inspect the damage.
Mist would eventually say some things too.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Just hanging out.
Wait, can I just roll my hit points? Because I forgot to do that before we started. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There we go. So I only get 2 more hit points. Anyway.
All right. Yeah. Mist kind of looks over to them, and she's like, "So, you got choices too after all of that happened. Laffy, you said yours was difficult. Do you mind if I ask what it was? You don't have to tell me, but I could tell you mine if you're curious."
Well, if you're going to be open about it, I'm gonna feel weird if you're like, oh, let me bare my soul. Oh, by the way, Laffy, and then I don't say anything.
Miss cracks up and she waves her hand. She's like, "I perfectly understand wanting to keep secrets. Mine's just rather hilarious, honestly."
No, it's fine. I was posed with the option of either going to a place where there was no more racial strife, and I could be loved, and posed with freedom or fate. I simply chose my friends.
Mist opens her mouth, closes it, and she's just like, "Laffy, that is a difficult choice. You chose to go with us."
Couldn't just leave you here. I'm sure you guys would get lost without me, says Laffy as she turns to inspect some really interesting grass,
Well, yours is far more heartfelt than mine, I imagine. I showed up in this void, and it was as I expected. I didn't have a body anymore, which I was sort of afraid of, but, then Vathan showed up, and landed on my body's shoulder, which materialized in front of me.
Ren
They
squints
both-
at the bird.
They both spoke to me in the same voice. It was interesting. And they said, it just went right into it. "Do you wish to see your friends again? Or do you wish to know everything there is ever to know?" And I didn't even have a botsy to laugh, but if I could, I would have. Yes, do you want to see your friends again, or do you want omnipotence? What kind of fucking question is that? Of course I chose all of you. Omnipotence. What a dreadful choice.
Guess they didn't know you very well.
I really didn't. I mean, thing that got us here in the first place was the exact opposite of that. Really?
Well, I appreciate that we're better fates than omnipotence.
Oh, most definitely.
Fluffy gives Ren a sidelong glance.
Ren-
She's not gonna ask, but she's curious.
Ren looks over at them, looks back at the grass, and kind of shrugs his shoulders and is like, "I got offered death.
Oh.
Actual permanent death."
Oh.
Anyway, suffice to say, I chose to accompany you guys. And she's not really looking at them. She turns the crystal over in her hand again and then pockets it, and still doesn't really look at them.
Luffy rips up a clump of grass and chucks it at Ren.
Ren takes it right to the face.
And Luffy is like, "You weren't supposed to look at me as I was throwing stuff at you, dingus. I'm happy you're here."
Well,
I am too.
well, good.
And Luffy leans over to dust grass off her head.
Ren bath at her hands and kind of does it herself.
Mist grabs some grass and they're trying to get it off Ren and just sort of sprinkles it onto her head.
Ren looks at Mist offendedly.
Mist just grins something awful.
The hazing you.
Alright, is that all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys finish your rest. You've tended your wounds a little bit. You're a bit less bloody. You guys prestidigitation kind of the stains off of you and Saint. And when it looks like you guys are ready to go, he kind of puts his nose to the ground and starts snuffling around, and looks at the road, and then looks at you guys, and looks at the road, and looks at you guys.
Fluffy nods, and she's like, Saint will show us the way. He knows this place. She says with absolute certainty.
Yeah, Mist looks Laffy and then looks at Saint and then kind of squints at Saint but pats him.
Ren shrugs and kind of does a little flourishy gesture for him to lead on.
He starts patting away. And it takes you guys about 15-20 minutes. You're taking it easy, taking in the sights, trying to figure out where the fuck you are.
Mist keeps looking up at those stars.
Okay. And you do see that they are moving very fast. And they look like they're moving eastward, or westward. But you really can't tell.
Mist isn't good with directions. Where the fuck are they going? She
Yeah.
doesn't know.
They're just moving very fast. And as you guys continue your walk, you draw closer and closer, and you can start to hear the sounds of people moving around, and it sounds very, very, very busy, actually. And you crest a little hill, and you see in front of you this absolutely gargantuan city. And very suddenly, when you look up, you see that there's more of the city above you that's blotting out the sky, actually. And you look to either side, and you see that it looks like you're in a ring, actually. You see that the city curves up on either side of the horizon and reaches up towards the sky.
Ren looks at the other three and then looks back at, like, the horizon and is like, that's weird. This
It's
is weird.
and amazing.
I don't like it.
I like it.
I'm ambivalent.
So about 5-10 more minutes of walking, you approach what looks like a giant ring. There's like a big wall that's blocking you off from the rest of the city in front of you, but on either side you see that there's a lot more of those stone slabs that you guys emerge from, but they're shimmering colors, and they look like a membrane almost, and you see people coming out of them and going into them. And you also see that they're all very heavily guarded. Mist, make a perception check.
Yeah. Let's see. Perception. Scroll up thing. What's perception? Perception is wisdom. Okay. Let's gotta readjust all this stuff. Oh, it's +5. That's rolling slow.
Okay.
Eh.
You're a bit distracted by everything going on, but it becomes very apparent to you that you don't recognize any of the sort of people you see moving around. To put it bluntly, you don't recognize any of the races about you. Some of them look vaguely humanoid in appearance, others don't look like humans at all. There are a lot of creatures of many, many different colors, and some seem like they're going exclusively to certain portals, while others are splitting off into groups, and you see wagons floating wagons, things with strange animals pulling them into these portals, and handing off papers to the guards before they actually enter in. And again, at each portal, you see that they are very heavily guarded. There's probably about 4 to 6 guards stationed at each one, and these portals are not much larger than like a set of twin mansion doors. So there are more guards than anyone could actually fit abreast if they walked into the portal all at once. And they have giant weapons that you can't quite identify. Some of them look like they might be swords, some of them look like they might be spears, other ones look like you have no idea what they are. And their armor is all very, very golden and shiny. And around you guys, it's very, very busy. There is kind of the telltale signs and sounds of civilization, and it's sort of the one comfort that you're able to derive from all of this, because it is... You are familiar with the sound of people, and this sounds like people. No one's looking at you, though everyone's sort of going along in their own business, whatever that business may be.
Despite the fact that they're not being looked at when faced with the prospect of being persecuted by an even broader array of races, Luffy pulls her hood up really far over her head.
Mist is just looking around at all these things. Can she...
1 second.
Oh, that's our doorbell.
It's a doorbell?
That's our space heaters. We're not gonna be cold any longer.
Oh man.
Sweet.
That is...
I thought it was a phone.
Yeah,
I should actually. Yeah, so did I at first. I should probably help with that.
Nah, Max has got it. I'm sure he's fine.
I was wrong. They're itty bitty heaters. He needed no help from me.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. It's just, it's been cold here, so I bought us space heaters, and they're here, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Alright, so, who's doing what?
Mist is looking around at the portals, and for whatever fucking reason, she decides she wants to use Eldritch Sight on them. She's curious as fuck to see what weird magic shit is going on here.
Okay, well, first and foremost, they're incredibly magic.
Hey.
Like, so magic.
Yeah, like, there's absolutely nothing mundane about them. And the spells aren't terribly complicated, but they're twined together in such a way that you can't quite tell what the... You can tell what the purpose is, but you can't tell, like, what exactly they do. But it's very clearly a teleportation spell of some sort. But it's combined with, like, healing spells and damaging spells. You can see that there's, like, a fireball built into one of them. You can see that there's a spell that you know to be grasping vines built into another. Each one has a very different property, but behind it all you can see the threads of teleportation spells.
Yeah, she looks really interested in this. She's like, she starts gesturing, and she's like, all these portals have different spells woven into them. It's ridiculous. It's really interesting. I don't even know what they're all for.
Portaling, I guess?
I mean, yes, but, like, why would one have a fireball built into it? Like,
Oh, well,
that's very weird.
Why the fuck is there a fireball spell involved?
That's what I'm saying.
Ben kind of looks at the guards and is like, maybe they're traps, in case unwelcome visitors pop in.
I mean, possibly.
Oh,
Or
that's
maybe-
more comforting than what I was thinking.
As you guys are standing around talking to each other, a giant creature made out of rock kind of bumps into you and makes this noise at you and just kind of
Oh, wait,
shuffles
wait.
past.
Is it Is it talking in primordial?
It is actually.
Mist knows primordial.
It told you, get the fuck out of the way.
Mist says back, I'm sorry, excuse us. Only just like
It raises its fist, and you're pretty sure it's flipping you off.
Laffy
he literally
doesn't
just-
speak primordial, but Laffy does speak rude hand gestures and she
Yeah.
the thing off.
We literally just had a "I'm walking here" moment.
Yeah, you did.
Hey!
Um,
Yeah.
The space
totally.
New York.
and you guys, you start to realize you're actually standing in the middle of the fucking road. And
Mist
people
starts-
have been polite enough to go around you, but they're getting less and less patient.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mist
well,
is
shit.
like, we should move over to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ren looks at Saint and is like, "Well, what do we do?"
He's just looking at you,
Laffy.
wagging his tail.
You're
Laffy
very
looks at
helpful.
Saint, and she makes a few gestures, and she makes like a boof sound, like.
What are you trying to do?
Do we have to go through a portal? Buddy, you gotta.
He looks at you really confused and boofs back.
I think
And it sounds excited.
from the looks of things, we might need to do some research before we go through these portals. We don't know where we're going, and we might need like papers or whatever. She sort of gestures toward the guards that are taking papers and
Laffy looks around. Is there just like a regular ass door anywhere?
anywhere.
Um,
Gate?
Ren does the opposite of Laffy and walks up to one of the guards.
okay.
Mist.
You walk up to what looks like a crow that's standing on two legs and is bigger than you, Ren. And
Mist
like
goes
under
with
its
them.
wing, it has like a spear just tucked in there. And as you get close, it does that like crow head thing and like tilts its head to best look at you.
I hope Vathan does the same thing back.
Vathan does the same thing back, and the crow person just ah, and Vathan ah.
Mist tries not to grin
A
too
true
much.
meeting of the minds is going on at the
So,
moment.
so in true human fashion, Ren assumes everyone speaks common and it's like, so how do we get into the city?
The crow person blinks a few times and looses this weird cackling laughter, like ah, 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 ah. And goes, "You no get into city."
Oh, why not?
Squints at you and, "You're not from here."
Nope. Just arrived, fresh off the, and she looks at one of the stone slabs. I suppose boat doesn't really apply here.
The bird person just kind of cackles again and lifts one of its feathered arms and points at what you can now see is a giant line of people that's leading into the big, like, foreboding wall in front of you, and just they're in line.
Oh.
What line
Are you
is
telling us we have to go through TSA?
God, no. The last time I went there, I got my junk fondled.
Yeah,
But
Mist is like,
It is about this time that a blonde human male steps out of a nearby portal.
No, no.
And Mist, he catches your eye because god damn it, he looks like he is the one normal looking thing you've fucking seen here so far.
listen, Mist, normal, come on.
Again, it's still the most normal thing you've seen here thus far.
I mean, I'm just saying, you're talking about normal and Mist noticing it. It's
yeah.
not, you know, I mean...
Yeah, it says
Okay.
something, doesn't it?
Mist is all here for everything that's going on, but yeah, she notes the dude. He's like, well, it looks like another human over there.
What? Where?
What?
Mist points over to where the dude is.
Ren immediately starts flagging him down. Like straight up, like brother.
Bran, go ahead.
Hey.
Bran is about to make his way towards the city when he notices this other human flailing at him off in the distance. He sort of stops and, like, does a double take and just gives her this look like, what are you, huh?
And Ren is clearly making the come hither motions, like you here now.
Fluffy leans out from behind Ren and like squints at Bran.
And Mist is just watching this happen, grinning.
Bran sort of washes them for another moment, like kind of looks at. I would imagine another group of like humans and elves are pretty uncommon in this area.
Absolutely.
So Bran just sort of looks them over for a second. He walks over.
They look roughed up.
He kind of looks them over again. He's like, "Well, you've all been through a little bit of hell, haven't you?"
We have.
Ren?
Yeah,
The manners. Like, oh my god. Another human. Okay, it's been a while.
Bran's immediately like feeling awkward because all these eyes are like suddenly on him.
Mist is like, first of all, greetings. Do you regularly come through here? We are, I guess you could say, new to this.
And a little bit
Lame.
lost.
A lot lost. A little lot
Very
lost.
lost.
Don't try to swindle us, though.
Ladies,
you know.
ladies, one at a time, please.
All
Ren
right.
squints at him.
We arrived here under strange circumstances, and we don't know where we are. Is there
Welcome
anywhere?
to Sigil.
Sigil?
What?
Is that what this place is called?
Yes. And you said strange circumstances, hmm?
We may or may not have reconnected our world with whatever this is, through an incredibly complicated series of events that eventually resulted in a portal. Anyway.
Yes, that.
Right.
Some things happened. We're here now, and we don't know what to do.
Pretty much. Is there like, I don't know, anywhere to stay? Is there like a map?
We just got told to wait in that big ass line.
Yeah, what is that
Fluffy says
line?
as she gestures over.
Bran's over at the line with like a look of horror.
Bran, you don't have to go through that line.
Bran kind of, he looks at the line, he looks back at the ladies, and he looks at the line again. Tell you what, follow me.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
And
Yeah,
Fluffy's
I'm
like,
not going-
but I got my eye on you. And she does that like fingers to the eye, to his eyes, to her eyes.
Okay.
Mist just
Bran
giggles.
just grins and he's like, there are a couple of places I recommend then. My ass is a nice one to stare at.
Mist.
Yes!
Up.
Yes!
Fluffy looks at Mist. Looks like she might regret her flagging down this other human because she's clearly made a huge mistake.
Yeah, Mist
Bran
looks
notices the
over
look
at
on her
Ren
face
like,
and just grins.
Fluffy looks like she might retort, but like all that comes out is like this.
Mist looks at Ren and is like, this is your fault, but she's still grinning.
Ren is like, everything is always my fault. It's okay.
But yeah, she's following.
Ren is also following. Still squinting though.
Okay.
Fluffy pointedly does not look at Bran's butt, but like she does at one point, and she's like, shit!
Sorry, I just plugged in my heater and it's perfect. I'm so happy. It smells, but of course it does.
Of course, yeah.
So anyway, Bren, you lead them over to a smaller line. It's still a line, and you know that, you do have to, like, kind of claim yourself when you come back to Sigil from any plane. But the line that they were directed to was very clearly the visitors line. Better known as customs. Whereas the line that you've taken them to is kind of like the citizens' entryway. It's like, when you go to the airport and there's like your country's entry and then like other people. It's sort of like that. And so you guys stand in line for, it takes about 20-30 minutes, and
Mist is
As
totally
opposed to 5
asking
hours.
all these
Yeah.
questions. Like, what was that line? What was this line? Where are we going?
Luffy, amidst these questions, is like, "What's your name? Did we get
Yes.
your name?"
She's writing it all down as she learns things too.
Wouldn't it be proper to introduce yourselves first?
Yeah, sure, I guess. My name's Lafayette, no last name. So there you go.
I am Xavier Mistress, but they call
Oh,
me Mist.
how do
You
you
can call me
spell
what you
that?
like.
Seriously,
really want to
just
know?
call the Mist.
Ren's still squinting.
Bran squints back.
Oh, and this is
Red.
Vathan.
Hello, Vathan. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Vathan Cause.
You seem like a
Puffs
very
up.
sensible sort.
He looks proud of himself. He's like, yeah, someone recognizes me.
someone gets it. So yeah, the line starts moving, and you see a man start to approach you guys. Or rather, you saw him from a distance, kind of eyeballing you, and he slowly kind of makes his way over with this weird saunter in his step.
Oh, here it is.
And
Here it is, the groping.
he looks a lot like a human until you actually look at him. He has very dark skin. He's short and kind of portly, but instead of hair, there's like weird crystals growing out of his head.
Oh.
And
Don't stare at the crystals. Don't stare at the crystals.
he looks like he has this very glorious mustache, but again, a closer look shows you that it's just a shitload of dirt. And Bran, you know that he is an Earth Genasi. Or Genocide. I don't know how to... Let's go with Genocide, because it sounds cool. You know that he is an Earth aspected Genocide. And he flashes you guys this big, toothy smile, and... You look like I could make friends with you. Hello, hello, hello.
If by friends you mean money, if you don't have any.
Oh, that's
Does Bran recognize this guy as
Nope.
any sort of official or just a random dude?
No, he's dressed very richly in the way that sigilites are, where it's decadent is a bit too subtle a word to describe it, really. It is extravagant, eccentric, and it's an outfit that doesn't make any goddamn sense. There's like a feather kind of sticking out of his crystals.
90s anime. Got it.
Kind of, but more garish.
Oh.
Think like
Oh, God.
French Renaissance combined with 90s anime.
Oh my god.
Oh.
It's intense.
Mist she's just smiling so hard. This is all so weird and she loves it.
Luffy is looking at him as if staring into the sun.
Bran,
And she's like,
Bran
sorry,
notices.
I didn't mean to be rude. I am told that it is just a part of my rustic charm.
He
Yes,
looks.
you're very charming.
He-
Tori.
Says Luffy, who looks roughed up.
Yeah, Luffy, he gives you a solid once over, and he's just like, "Oh, are you from the conclave then?" I see. And he gives Ren a look, and he's just kind of confused. And he gives Mist a look, and he's even more confused. He's like, "I have never seen your kind before." Ha ha ha.
Hey, well, feelings mutual.
At this point, Bran kind of walks up and throws his arm around the guy's shoulders, and is like, you know how it is in this place. All kinds of new, interesting people coming through.
Oh yes, yes. Though he taps his lip with a kind of gnarled finger that looks like it could be made out of wood or it could be skin. You're not sure. He taps his lip and, Oh, but newcomers do not often get into the citizens' entrance. The
Well,
guards may
that
not
would
let
be
them
because
through.
they're with me.
Yeah, we came here to live and, flourish within the beautiful city of Sigil.
Not many people come to live in Seagull. I see. Well, I could get you through the line a bit faster if you'd like. I am very welcoming to the newcomers. It is.
Fluffy looks at
Yeah.
Saint.
Can Mist insight check?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and insight
yeah.
check.
Alright, okay. We're doing this. Can she use advantage?
Sure.
There she go. It's 12's better.
He can get you through the line faster, as far as you can tell.
Luffy is looking at Saint. Luffy wants to know what her dog's opinion on this strange man is.
Saint looks like he's happy to meet somebody new.
Luffy bends at the waist and looks at Saint from face level, and she looks at the guy, and she looks at Saint, and she's like, despite the fact that Saint looks happy, she's like, my dog doesn't like you.
Oh, but I always have a way with the animals. And he leans down to pet Saint, and Saint just kind of backs up a little bit.
Oh.
Luffy, puts a motherly hand on Saint's shoulders, like,
Don't touch my dog.
So,
never speak to me or my son again.
you say you can get us through the line a little bit faster. How exactly, what's in it for us? Like, what's in it for you? What are you planning, sir?
Oh, you look like the sort that could use some help getting around the city, and frankly, I always like showing people around a little bit, and, maybe a bit of coin, but not much. It's just my services. You will not find a better friend in all of Seagull than myself.
Oh, I feel like I could compete with you there.
Oh, wags his finger at you. That is a challenge. Come, friends, come. I am Drumthon, by the way. Pleasure to meet all of you. Now come. And he just he starts, he puts one arm around Ren, one arm around Mist, and just kind of starts shepherding you guys.
Luffy has no arms around her, and so she follows behind.
When Mist is touched, that black, inky energy comes off of her for a second, but then it comes down.
He is not perturbed in the slightest by it. And he looks over at you, Bran. He's like, aha, see, I have the two ladies. It is I who am winning now, friend.
Bran just grins. He's like, oh yeah, they look quite happy where they are, don't they?
So comfortable.
Bran immediately walks up and just kind of throws an arm around Laffy. Wouldn't want you to get lonely over here, lad.
Luffy is so small.
Hand on her head.
Pretty much.
Oh, Ren actually starts laughing at that.
Yeah,
she looks back and she sees Bren struggling to be suave with Laffy, and she starts laughing.
So
Luffy is like, bruh.
So Dromthan continues to shepherd you guys out of the line and off to the side. And he takes you over to a dingier looking entrance to the city, where there's only a single pig man sitting by the gate, looking just kind of bored. And
this is quite the extravagant entrance you have here.
Well, Kirk, I bring friends. And the pig man sits up and ha ha. And Dromthan makes a few noises in his throat, and then Kirk just wishes to make sure none of your equipment is poor. The cops would not be pleased if you brought anything in that was damaging, you see.
Damaging.
Yes.
Okay. Miss is just She's still kind of weirded out about being touched, but she's also like, we've got some shit. Who knows what that's gonna end up like?
All right.
So
So,
I'm gonna wait for an explanation.
Damaging like a knife.
magical artifacts that are unidentified, perhaps. The lady does not like those sort of things getting into the city without proper appraisal. And luckily enough, Yes, the lady. He looks at Brandon. You're a citizen, you know who I talk about, yes?
Bran nod. Yeah, you might want to listen to him. You really don't want to cross the lady, trust me.
Miss looks at Bran like she's got a million more questions.
Bran sort of like holds up a finger to like convey
Yeah, she's gonna wait.
he will answer all of her questions later.
She'll remember this.
That's a dangerous.
Yeah, it is. She grins, but she's
Mist will
quiet
remember
for
her.
now. Yeah.
And Jonathan says, and luckily enough, I am quite the appraiser. And he kind of twirls his dirt mustache, and it's, like what's his name? Pigpen from, Peanuts. It's sort of like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Like his mustache is kind of like made out of that, and you're not quite sure how he's twirling it, but he is.
Bran is watching them both very closely, by the way.
Okay.
Mist looks at the dude who's twirling his mustache, and she's like, all right, well, if we were to have artifacts that need identifying, what would happen to them afterwards?
Oh, if they are deemed unknown and perhaps a little too dangerous, they must be confiscated, you see. Not my ruse, not my ruse. We do not want to attract the cops.
Is that the rules, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Mist
but, Bran, you do know that the cops are the one to take them. By the way, cops stand for the children of pain.
Right.
And yeah, you know that this man has no right to take them, but he is telling the truth. Like, you cannot just saunter in with unknown magical artifacts. And that's typically what the entry is for.
And he looks at the men and is like, so, where are the cops?
Oh, we do not want to attract them. Why would we want them around?
Well,
So then what do you do with the objects that you confiscate?
Oh, they go to the Citadel where you can pick them up later.
I suppose you'll be taking them there yourself?
Of course, I am a certified magical identifier.
Mist
Let's be
insight
alike.
in.
Okay.
Bran is also doing an insight check.
Okay.
Ren's also doing an insight check. Like, even Ren
Luffy-
is never suspicious.
Luffy has been suspicious since the start, so she's not gonna make an insight. She's just making a decided choice to
Taking
be suspicious.
advantage
Okay.
on this too. There we
Okay.
go. Little better.
Bran, are you doing it too?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I
Okay.
gotta figure out what it is.
Okay.
Wisdom.
Because I got all of these new things.
All these new toys.
I will also note that when the guy said unknown, Mist grinned something wicked. Really
Bran,
bad.
You're pretty sure he's telling the truth about being a certified magical appraisal person. But the rest is not something a civilian would ever do. And he looks at them expectantly. Or you could pay me in chuts. Not to say I am easily swayed by money, but you know. And he flashes this really gross grin.
How many chuts are we talking?
Oh, 50 per? That sound fair? Turn the other cheek.
So here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, just like may I paint a picture for you, sir? Right, so I'm gonna. So here's the deal. We're new in town.
That
We
much is
wait
clear.
in the line. Hey, so you can tell we're new in town. You come to us. You be like, hey, I can get you through the door, but I may steal all of your artifacts. But we may never be able to get them later. Why would we not just go back to the line? Any other way we can pay you? Blood, dick sucks.
He looks
Bran
very
raises a
disgusted
brow.
by blood. He looks offended by dick sucks.
Like there's just sort of a moment where Bran just stares at Laffy, and he looks back at the guy. So how many shots did you say per person?
50. Very simple price.
Would that like how much like to Bran? How much money would that be?
It's about what he get paid for a job.
Bran sort of looks the guy over. 45.
45. I do it because I like you. I like all of you. Very good. 45 chucks
In
per
a
person.
dubious look, like, you sure you like me? But she doesn't say anything.
And he holds his hand out expectantly, and the big pig man is just kind of watching with this unreadable pig expression.
Bran notices the pig man watching and watches the pig man.
Miss looks at Bran because she has no fucking idea what this currency is that they're talking about. She writes it down though.
You do have chuts, correct? You said you were new.
Well, they're new.
Do they have chuts? Do you have enough chuts to cover their fee?
How? We ain't got fucking anything.
My question is what kind of guarantee do we have that you're not going to go get the children?
Why? Do you think they would take kindly to me taking a bribe? I am an honest man. I do honest business, you see. I am very honest. I would never.
Insight check from Mist.
Okay.
I'm
So
sorry.
many insight
Mist
checks.
is just.
Oh, hey.
I'll go with that one.
He's honest about some of it.
I mean, does it seem like he's not going to go and get the people?
But
That's
he
what
sounds like he's
Mist is-
nervous when he says that.
Okay.
Like he's afraid of them.
This whole little side gig, how about I go get a cop to mediate the whole thing? Make sure this is all on the up
Oh no
and
no
up.
no! That is unnecessary. In fact, I will let you in right now. No payment needed. Consider it a favor from Dronthun to you. I like you. I like you all very much, and
Bran chuckles and throws his arm around the man's shoulder. I thought you'd see things in a better light. Just remember, if you send the cops on us, the first thing I'm going to tell them about is your stupid ass.
Shit.
Then we'll both be mazed, and I don't think either of us really want that, do we?
Mist mouths the word mazed and looks really excited.
Red is also
So tell you
like,
what, and as an act of good faith, here he gives the man 150 chuds.
Oh, you are so kind, and
Hmm?
it disappears so quickly. You have no idea where the money went. It's just gone.
He kind of like flicks the man's dirt mustache. Remember, you do anything unsightly, and I might just come back for you.
You hear that, Kirk? They are friends. And the pig man just grunts and steps off to the side, and you guys do see that there's a door leading into the rest of the city. And Drontham goes, Come, I will do another favor. I will show you around. Yes, and mayhap you can tell me a little bit of where you're from. You see, stories are good currency here. He looks at everybody, kind of like waiting.
Yeah,
Bran
Mist
sorta
looks
gives
to the
them a
rest
look.
of them.
Bran gives them a look like, you want me or this guy?
Luffy shuffles on over to Bran and
Yeah.
takes his arm like, buddy.
Yeah, Mist goes over there too.
Yeah, Ren. I mean, she's not choosing, but she kind of like sidesteps.
Tell you what, my friend.
We'll take our chance with a mystery blonde.
Is there a tavern nearby that you frequent? I can stop by and buy you a drink later.
Oh, there is the Urk. I go there quite often.
Oh yes, the my favorite.
Yes, it is.
Why
very,
is
very
everything on this plane sounding like vomit? There's Justin's and there's ugh.
It's rather lovely, isn't it?
good. Luffy, he gives you this weird look, and he looks a little offended, and just, you are a very offensive young woman, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
I like you. I like you.
See?
Sorry.
Friend sort of gesture. She's got a lot of fire to her.
Yes.
I wouldn't call it fire.
Now, my friends, welcome to Sigil, and if you do need anything, do seek out Dromthan's shop. I owe you big favor, you know, for not reporting me.
Bran pats the man on the shoulder. You do good business, friend.
No, I do not. But thank you anyway.
Bran just grins.
Very well. Go on. And he kind of waves you guys forth and looks really just dejected.
Oh, Mist just waves back at him, grinning.
So you guys step through into the sigil
Hey.
proper. I have a song for this.
Oh my god, is it going up the wall like that?
Yeah, it's.
Oh yeah, it's like think of the city like on. I think of a ring.
Yeah,
The city
the-
is on
the-
like the inside of the ring.
The background before was sigil. And you
Yeah.
guys are on the interior of it, and where you guys came from was actually the top of the ring, like on top of it. And when you were walking forward, you started walking towards the center.
As they enter the city proper, Bran kind of like steps in front of them and flourishes his cloak a bit and says, "My friends, welcome to Sigil."
Mist puts her hands up to her mouth and gasps, and she's like, "This is amazing."
Luffy is having such intense culture shock.
Yeah, Ren isn't sure what to make of this either.
And it's for very good reason. There are people on fire walking around. There are people that look like they might be frogs. There are people that look like everything you can possibly imagine. It is insanity.
Bran looks like he is enjoying the hell out of their reactions.
Mist is here for it. She's super here for it.
Luffy is like, what are those?
Everything is so amazing here.
That's one word for it.
And again, as you look up now, you do not see like the horizon, or even you do not see the sky above you at all. You do see that the city is just curving, and you can actually see people walking up there.
Oh, that's disorienting.
Mist,
Ren,
Mist,
lowers her head.
Mist looks like she wants to do it. Like she wants to just run up there and look at the rest of everyone else.
Luffy looks up and stumbles back and like has to shake her head out.
Mist looks to Bran and she's like, "All right, okay. Is magic allowed here?"
For the most part, just don't go slinging it around anywhere. You really don't want to draw much attention to yourself.
So kind of like brandishing a sword.
Good to know.
Yes, keep your swords in your sheaths. By the way, the cops don't really like it.
By the way, who is the lady?
Oh, that's a long story.
I want to hear
It's
it.
a maze.
You don't
I
want to
mean,
know.
I know what a maze is, but
In this context, you really don't want to know.
I do want to know.
Miss wants to know.
she wants to know everything.
Tell you what,
No,
how
not
about
everything.
Ren sort of like holds up a hand to get them all to stop. Tell you what, why don't we find a nice place to sit, get a drink? You can tell me your stories. I can answer your questions.
All of them.
I will do my
Like,
best. Bran,
excellent,
like
let's do it.
Bren bows and like, I am at your disposal.
Ren kind of like lifts her hand and kind of speaks to him out of the side of her mouth, like, "You're going to regret that."
Bren just grins. I regret a lot of things, dear. Doesn't stop me.
And
Hey,
Ren
same.
holds up a finger and is like, "No more terms of endearment. We don't know each other nearly well enough. I'm Ren."
Bren just laughed. Finally got a name out of you.
Well, I
What's his
said it, but
full
Bathan
name?
interrupted.
Yes, Vathan's very.
Bren he flashes them all this big winning smile.
And as you guys are kind of talking, suddenly everyone kind of shuffles off to the side, and this group of unidentifiable creatures. Just you can see
Bren
like
know what they are.
yes. I will tell you in a moment. And like they have very pale, gaunt-looking skin, and they are decked out in this armor that is elaborate and black and has spikes coming out of it at every possible angle. It's very, very edgelord. And they're holding
Ren-
these giant cleavers
Oh,
over
dear.
their shoulders.
Ren
Oh.
makes a face like that looks
I
like.
already know who those people are.
Uh-huh.
I do too.
Are they walking like directly towards them down the middle of the street?
They're walking down the middle of the street, yeah. But they're not really paying anyone any attention. They look like they're
Okay.
just walking.
Bren sort of like motions for the group to like kind of give them space.
Miss gives him space.
Yeah, Laffy ain't gonna get in that.
Yeah. Ren follows the advice.
I forget what they're called. Those are the cops, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Um.
Bren
And
points
as-
them- Bren points them out and says, "Those are the cops."
Why do they look so evil?
Very
Like not to be racist, right? But like
Wouldn't call them evil, just very, very intense.
And Bren, you do know that like those cleavers are meant to hold you in place, not to really kill you.
They're sort of they're law enforcement. Trust me, they're technically on your side.
And as they pass, one of them turns to look at you guys
Bren grins and waves.
and just doesn't break eye contact as he passes.
Ren is
Miss
too scared to
Grins.
break eye contact, so
Laffy
she
doesn't break eye contact, guys.
Yeah.
But for different reasons from Red.
And it's about like 3 minutes later that they pass, and you can hear like the sound of their boots clomping against the ground and the stone, and they round the corner and disappear.
I
Uh,
never want
and-
to punch into those in a dark alley.
Yeah, and once they do, everyone kind of resumes what they were doing.
At this point, Bran turns
Supposed to
back.
be friendly.
Well, they're not unfriendly. Just don't cross them. Trust me, you'll be thankful they're here.
Ugh.
Appearances
Alright.
can at times be deceiving.
Anyway, all interruptions aside, Bran, like, once again gives them all a bow. My name is Brannon. You may call me Bran.
Miss
Like some
points
muffin?
down.
Yes, like the muffin.
Alright.
You
Just
get
wanted to
the,
make sure.
you probably get the sense that you're, like, not the first person to make that joke by a long shot.
Laffy realizes this, but she does it because she's shitty.
Yeah, Miss is like, well, good to be introduced to you, Bran. Now, you said we were going to go somewhere to sort of wind down or something?
I mean, I could use a drink, couldn't you?
Like
Yes.
several.
Recovering from dying sure does a thing to a person.
We went through some shit.
Well, you'll have to tell me all about it.
Maybe.
So Bran, you know of a decent kind of Sigillian tavern nearish by called the Ulatil. and it's a melting pot for all sorts. No one really questions anyone that they don't recognize. It's, new people are expected there. And it's about a 45-minute walk from you guys are, but that's not exactly far in Sigil. It is busy, so you have to kind of push your way through the crowds a little bit.
Are they going up the side of the wall, though?
You're not quite walking that far. There's a slight, slope that you're walking.
Mist looks like she wants to go up that wall.
Would we even notice if we were going up there?
Probably not.
No.
But...
You would look behind you and suddenly realize it, probably.
Yeah. As you guys kind of wander down the streets, you see tall lizard men with these great wings. You see what look like humans, but instead of skin, they just have glowing... Their bodies glow, and they have giant, angelic wings. They look like they'd be really obnoxious.
Ren just kind of mouths, "What the fuck?"
You see more of those pig people. Again, if you can name it, you can see it. In fact, you're pretty sure you saw a Wemmick.
Oh, shit!
Lucky double takes.
When you double take, it's gone.
Did you see the Wemmick?
Oh my god.
Bran, you don't know what the fuck... You've never heard of a Wemmick in your life.
But at the same time, Bran's probably seen so many different goddamn types of people here that he doesn't even bat an eyelash anymore.
Right, yeah.
Mist is totally looking out for weird shit with tentacles, by the way.
Miss, keep your fetish out of this.
Miss, make a perception check, actually.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
All for fetish.
Fuck. He's gonna see a mind flare.
Oh my god.
You don't really see anything, but you feel something kind of prick you in the ass, and you go, "Ah!" for a second. And, roll a sleight of hand check.
Oh shit.
You just got goosed by the void.
Oh my god. Sleight of hand. Okay.
You pat your ass, and your wallet's gone. And you turn around to look, and you see this spiny little black ball rolling away, and you hear this, "Ah ha ha! Got your wallet! Ah ha ha!"
Oh, how far away is it?
It's not very far.
Okay, I mean, can Mist catch up with it
Dimension
by
door.
running? Or is she gonna have to
Miss,
bam
you could take
by
3
running?
steps and catch up to it.
Okay, she does. She
All right,
gets over to it.
It continues to laugh and it's like, "Aha! You cannot catch me." And it can't look at you, but it stops, and its spines just kind of flail a little bit. It looks like a sea urchin, by the way, just on land.
Oh, shit.
Bran, you know they're called street urchins.
Oh my god! I would like that back, thank you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You just told me what I'm talking about.
I
can
don't-
Mist see it holding her wallet?
Yeah, Miss Wallet is stuck on one of its spines.
Yeah, Mist is grabbed
And it's like, "Oh, that must have gotten stuck. I'm sorry." And it just kind of starts rolling away back, like it's trying to get away.
Miss.
Luffy puts a hand on Miss' shoulder and is just like, "Let it go, Miss.
Yeah,
Let it
Miss-
go."
Mist was, she was thinking about just letting it go anyway. She didn't know what she was gonna do with it, even if she caught it.
And it rolls away without a further word.
Brad has been watching this entire exchange with a big grin on his face. He kind of motions to the thing. He's like, "Street urchins."
Is that what they're called?
Very fitting name, is it not?
It is.
pretty
That's
funny.
rather hilarious. But
Um,
Mist doesn't see anything with tentacles, does she?
no.
Damn it.
Not in this part of town, at least.
Hey.
And as you guys are walking, you're seeing stores selling things that you've never seen before. You don't know, you do recognize armor and weapon stores, but you see You do see some armor that would fit a humanoid, but you see armor that makes you go, what the fuck is that for? You see weapons that have like a bunch of straps on them, and you really can only imagine.
Mist is having a great time imagining.
There are people like hawking food, and nothing looks familiar, but some of it smells really good.
Ren misses Ardor.
Actually, Ren, you make a perception check now.
Oh dear.
Oh shit.
Use it with advantage.
Hey.
Okay.
Though you know it's Ren, so we'll see.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yup.
Oh my
Alright, yeah, you
Yup.
are overwhelmed by everything and you're homesick already. Laffy, go ahead and you try.
With or without advantage?
Without.
Perception?
Yeah.
7.
No. You two are just distracted by everything that's going on. You're just like,
Fluffy
ha!
really
Ha!
wants to get at like a particularly weird looking piece of food. Like she sees food and she's like,
I mean, do you want to go off and buy something?
She doesn't have money, so no, she doesn't try. But she looks
Okay.
at it. She looks at it
Brand
real
notices and
hard.
says, "Don't worry. Once we get to where we're going, I'll feed you all. Promise."
So here's the thing, right? I very much appreciate your kindness, but we don't we don't know each other. And I know you're not supposed to look a gift horse in the mouth, but I feel like a moral obligation. Help me, help you, help us, help you.
Sort of waves a hand dismissively. Don't worry about it. Look, it's been a long time since I've seen your kind here, like my kind. We're quite rare, actually.
Okay, so you're an actual human and not some kind of creature in disguise, right?
Excuse me, Ren. We can be pretty decent, just saying.
Fluffy narrows her eyes at Bran and looks at him real hard. Is he an actual human?
No, he's an adult.
Fluffy is like, you're not a human. You fucking. And she like lowers her hood, points at her ears.
Bran's ears have been pretty much in like open display. They're pointed.
So hopeful. And Ren looks immediately dejected, like, fuck.
He notices like that look. He's like, "Hey, I'm at least half human."
It's not the same.
Oh,
And Ren starts like walking ahead.
Fluffy is like a racist.
Excuse
Fluffy looks at Bran and she's like, really? Like, this is the kind of thing we have to deal with. You know, back home it was just, and she goes off as she's walking down the street.
Brand entirely amused by these three strange people. That's literally his entire reason for helping them out right now. They're interesting. In this city of ridiculous, crazy-looking things, these three are interesting.
Okay. So, you know, you guys, you socialize a little bit. Some of you are just gawking at the sight. Some of you are just like, man, I miss home. Some of you are looking out for a tentacle monster and are very disappointed. But eventually you come upon a building that says Ulatil written on it in what you can presume to be like, or Mist, you know it's like 7 different languages.
Mist
What kind of language?
Mist reads it all. Does it all say the same thing, or does it say different shit?
It doesn't, you know, it doesn't all translate directly into Ulatil, but it's like, it's practically like it's saying it. It's like, you know how like different languages basically, like they can all say the same thing, but they form the word in different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of like that.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Can Laffy recognize it in any language?
Yeah, actually. There's 3 languages that you recognize. There's Abyssal, Draconic, and Sylvan.
Hey.
Does Ren recognize any?
Let me see, what do you know?
She She has the most
No.
mundane languages.
No, Ren, you don't recognize any.
Poor
Most
Red.
mundane. It's okay.
Mist, you can easily point out that one of them is primordial. The other ones you can read, but you can't tell them what it is.
Luffy points and she's like, Vun is abyssal, Vun is draconic, and Vun is sylvan. So we've got fairies, we've got... Well, she doesn't know what abyssal is. She's like, what is that language? So we got Minotaur, we got draconic, is this dragons? Oh my gosh.
One of those is primordial, so there's more elementals, possibly.
Ren is squinting at the sign like, I don't know any of these languages, and I speak like 7.
There's common on there.
Well, aside from common.
Yeah, everyone knows common. It's common. Gash.
Well, not everyone necessarily.
I find most people here know how to speak it.
Thank
Yeah, and
goodness.
weirdly enough, it's called common here. Ah.
Hey.
Weird how
I
that
guess
happens.
We go in, says Luffy, who, like, for some reason is gonna go in first. Like, she opens the door a crack and, like, looks in, and it's not the way you're supposed to enter. That's Luffy
As she's
for you.
like slowly entering, Bran just sort of like kicks the door open and walks in like owns the place.
Okay, yeah. You guys enter, and it hits the three of you like it's home. You're just like, it's just a tavern. Sure, the patrons are insane looking. And Mist, you finally do see something that looks an awful lot like a mind flayer. Just like lifting its tentacle face with one hand and just downing some drink with the other.
Miss
Liquid brains.
quietly gasps. But it's not the tentacle thing she was looking for.
Ren,
No.
Ren looks at Mist, looks at where Mist is looking, and is like, what is it with you and tentacles?
Does she say
You don't-
that?
Yeah, no, she
Brains,
says
by the
that.
way.
You don't question fetishes.
They do.
Mist opens her mouth and closes it, and she grins, and she does not clarify anymore.
All the drinks aren't brains, right? Like, you don't... Do you drink brains? Just, you know... She says to Bran, looking...
Bran looks
Suspicious.
offended. Of course I don't drink brains, I drink beer.
I'm just checking. I don't know the customs here.
Well, they don't really have much where you come from, do they?
We have elves, we have humans, we have dwarves and gnomes and
If you want,
orcs.
I will say that portal travel is rather almost
never-
like mythical. You know,
We
not,
just
not
picked
something.
travel.
Yeah,
was
we just sort of did that.
Did we
Does
really
that
fix
sound like-
portal travel if the portal goes one way?
Does
I mean,
the
we
fact
don't
that
know.
like they knew nothing of the existence of like sigil or like portal travel, does that sound like odd to Bran that the world would be
Absolutely.
like that?
He's actually never heard of someone that doesn't know anything about portal travel.
I mean,
That's odd.
I
You're
mean-
telling me that you knew not like there's no portals in your world.
there are sort of,
Ow.
but they're very.
They were only
sort of-
summoning demons.
Summoning demons.
I mean, they're very
It was-
rare, sort of unexpected. You know, that sort of thing.
Demon summoning. Or giant
Like-
tentacle summoning.
I mean,
Listen,
I've-
looks
What
at
does
Mist.
what does
I-
like
let's
gone
let's
through
sit
one
down
before.
and not crowd the door, and we
Oh,
can
yeah,
talk
good
about
idea.
the
So, like,
intricacies.
like what does Bran know about like demons using portals to invade other planes? Do you know anything about that or?
Not really. You could recall that, like, your, one of your grandparents, told, like, one of your grandparents was telling stories about something like this a long time ago when you were very tiny. But other than that, like, you know what demons are. They are still called demons. It's, again, not very creative. But you've never really heard of them invading anything specific, at least recently. And you do know that they are from the abyssal plane.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Where should we sit?
As you say that, Mist, you guys look around the tavern, and a few people are looking at you, just kind of curiously. You've caught the eye of a frog person, another crow person, and there's a table that's empty, and there's the barkeep, and he's a giant dragon person.
Hey.
In fact, he's copper.
Oh no.
Luffy looks like,
It's a metallic dragon, though. That's not bad.
He's a copper dragon.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, there's a few tables free. It's not like a very busy time of day. You don't think?
Luffy takes the initiative to walk to an empty table and sit her ass down.
Bran follows
goes
right
Luffy.
behind her and just plops down onto a seat.
Yep. Yep.
She's like, so here's the deal, right? Just a quick abridged version of what we went through. We got asked to investigate some murders. Turns out there were demons, succubus and incubus that were killing people. Those didn't exist in our world, but apparently they do. So
Well, they don't really exist here either, technically.
That's fucking weird because we totally saw one. And then she thumbs at Ren and is like, Ren's got these 6 sunglasses that have
Ren
the eyes.
Them down.
Yeah,
Bran
and
just scratches one of his sideburns. He's like, well, demons come from the abyssal plane. I don't understand why they would. He just sort of trails off.
There was some kind of war a really long ass time ago, and that's why our world was sealed off in the first place.
and then a lich opened up a portal, and now we're here, and he might be here too, but we don't fucking know.
Wait, you're chasing a lich?
Yes.
He's my grandfather, sort of.
Wow, you have a very interesting family.
Yeah, right?
So, wait a second, wait a second.
Isn't your mother figure the skull on your hip?
Family reunions
Little
must
bit.
be a nightmare. Hmm?
It was terrible. It was a terrible reunion, let me tell you. That's why we look the way we do.
Alright, okay. So you said demons come from the abyssal plane. How many planes are there? Where are they? What are they called? I have so
there-
many questions.
There are more planes than you can count. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands, possibly more.
Is that what the stars in the sky are?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Every one of those stars is a world.
Oh my god.
This looks crazy excited about this.
Of sigil as where all of them kind of connect.
Is it really?
It's like a hub of all the worlds, all the planes in existence.
That
Except for
is
us.
incredibly exciting.
Ren gets this look on her face like she's realized that she's way, way out of her depth.
Bran just grins and he's like, it's an odd feeling, isn't it, to realize how you already thought you were small, but then you realize just how small you really are.
Did
You
you,
know-
have to go through that? Did you go through a freaky deaky door at some
Oh
point
no,
in your
I
life?
grew up here.
Oh.
My life has been freaky.
Is there more people like you? What, with slightly pointy ears and the not weird looking visage?
There's a conclave of us from where in our section of the city. There's not a lot of us. We're definitely a minority, I would say.
Fluffy throws up her hands and she's like, again! It's a minority.
Well,
I
don't-
come to a new world.
Don't
I
don't
mean-
worry. It's hard to be prejudiced when there's this many races around. You're not going to get too many weird looks, I promise.
Oh god.
Furthermore, you just saw how many stars there were. There's got to be one where they're not. If not more than one. There's got
Anything's
to be
possible.
lots of them. It certainly is. Now, Miss looks around and she's like, so, all right. I guess Lich, right? If a lich came here, how easy would it be for it to just go wherever it wanted? Are liches considered alright, like everything else wandering around here, or...
Let's not forget he disguised himself.
No, yeah, he might have gone in someone else's body.
Bran would know that there's no way a lich would just be able to fly around freely through the city, right?
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, Bran shakes his head. There's no way. He would have to have disguised himself. Flying around would have attracted the attention of the lady, and let me just say, a lich is like a flea compared to the lady.
Really?
What? Alright, but what is the lady?
Yes,
exactly?
Please
The lady,
tell us the story.
I can't tell you really all that much about her, only that she's the Lady of Pain, and she is one of the rulers of the city.
One? As in
Yes,
just
one.
more?
There are 4, I believe. But the Lady of Pain, she is she's the law enforcement. She keeps Sigil safe and orderly. Then
There's a reason.
oh,
She's called the Lady of Pain.
let's just say her name speaks for herself.
I think that she causes pain, just, two and two.
If
The
you
Snickers.
No one. I've never seen her personally, and most of the people around here have never seen her. She and the other rulers, they don't come out into this part of the city much. They live in the center and never really leave. But I've heard tales of the lady showing up to deal with interlopers personally, and it's not pretty.
Alright, so there's a lady, right? But let's say, just hypothetically, if we want to go home,
Yes,
who
would
could we
we,
speak to?
or would we open the portal the way we did before?
We don't know how he opens it.
I know how I opened the portal.
Oh. Why didn't we do that?
I
Why are we
mean,
here?
we're here
If-
because you told me to open it so we could follow the lich. That's why we're here.
The
We're never gonna
portal's-
find him!
ladies. If the portal was closed off, then there might have been a reason. I doubt it will just work again. I'm not really an expert on how exactly all of that works.
Oh
Well,
my god.
I have a
We
question.
came here illegally.
Well, wait a minute.
Don't worry, that's not as uncommon as you think.
So, if a portal is closed off, that just means that it's not like that shimmering membrane-ish looking sort that we saw a lot of the other ones like.
Right, it's basically just a big rock.
Okay. Have you ever seen them open? Are there particular methods, like, are they different for each portal, or is there one way to open them from this city?
I don't know, DM. You tell me.
Bran, what you have seen is you've seen people kind of show up like this group did. Not typically coming out of a stone like they did, but just kind of popping in, and then the what's his name? The master himself shows up and creates a portal to that plane of existence.
Well, how it usually works is one of the other rulers of Sigil goes by the name the Master of Planes. He just sort of shows up and does it.
So why didn't he show up and do it?
Bran just shrugs. Can't really say I know.
Mist grins a lot, like she can't help it.
I feel like at some point we're gonna need to speak to that guy.
Oh, that won't happen.
I feel like,
You do not. Unfortunately, there's no speaking to the rulers of the city. They just if they want to speak to you, you'll speak to them, but not the other way around.
You'll be surprised what happens around us.
It's about this time that a kind of like a tall, gaunt, very pale creature walks up to you guys, and it's like sachet of hips, and it's very androgynous, but also theoretically very attractive.
Theoretically.
And looks the group over in like a whispering voice. Just, what can I get you?
Mist looks excited, but then looks at Bran because she has no fucking idea what they can get here.
Bran just looks over. How about just a round of just a round of beer to start us all off?
Right, I will retrieve the Natin then.
My thanks.
And the creature just kind of slinks away.
Was that like a changeling or a doppelganger?
Fluffy checks it out because it's Fluffy.
It was a changeling.
Hey! Yeah, Miss thought it was neat.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. I totally forgot what they were going on. Oh yeah, the Master of Planes. Okay. Sorry.
Oh my god, there's so much that we need to do. We need to, oh my god, we need to make money.
Right, yeah.
Well, if you're looking for a place to make money, Sigil is possibly the best place you could ever be in.
Really?
Of course. You're at the hub of hundreds and thousands of other worlds. There's plenty of jobs sending you to. I mean, I just got back from another world myself.
That's how it works.
What kind
totally
of world?
Excited.
Was it like a world
what,
full of cats? Is there
what world did Rand come back from his mercenary work?
What world did he come back from? That's up to you.
Oh man,
that's up to you.
This place was very odd. There were humans and elves there, amongst other strange creatures that looked kind of human, only larger and bulkier.
I swear to God.
There were these tiny humans.
I swear to God.
They almost kind of reminded me of like a potato.
I hate you so much. I hate you so much.
Potato.
But how did
Does they have
buggers.
studs?
No, they were like I don't know. I got this feeling that they were potato people. I don't know how else to describe it.
Weird.
Strange. Did they taste good? I mean, I'm sorry. You know what?
I didn't eat
That
them.
wasn't. That's poor form. You shouldn't eat people.
Mist cracks up.
Huh.
That sounds interesting. You know how many different places we could go from here? This is incredibly exciting.
Ren does not look enthused at all.
We have a job to do. We have a world to do.
Bran is just grinning along with Myth. Isn't it spectacular?
It really is, though.
Fluffy drinks.
Yeah, the changeling has since brought back the Natin, and it looks like beer, it smells like beer, so it's probably beer. And it smiles at you and goes, "Can I get you any food? Any lipku or sastra or sal, perhaps? You look like you would like the sal."
What would Brad get them to just be something that they could probably like palate?
Sal. Sal is basically the equivalent of Sigillian beef, but it's not cow. It's something that is native to Sigil.
Well, you can eat it.
We'll take some salt, each of us.
Very well. And it slinks away again.
We're gonna eat a weird thing.
Ren just drinks. Like she picks up the mug and she takes a sip, and then she doesn't put it down until the mug is done.
Yeah, Laffy is in that boat with Ren. Laffy gets you a cheers with Ren, like, we're fucked.
Ren, real quick, make a perception check for me. And I believe in you. I believe in you, Renswina. I super believe in you, Renswina.
I don't.
See?
Hey.
See?
Hey,
That's the
You
power of
super
super
believe in
believing.
someone. Yeah.
That's the power of
Hey,
the
part of
DM
that.
believing in you.
You guys all really need to watch Gallivant, by the way. It's incredible.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ren, you overhear some people talking about something called the Soulsmith.
Oh.
Ren, like slowly straightens as though she's listening to something and kind of cocks her head to listen closer. And she like reaches over suddenly and like grabs Laffy's arm.
The
Miss
mom like looks
watches
at Ren
this and
like that.
looks at both of them like, what are you doing?
And they've changed topics, but you heard the word Soulsmith.
Laffy is gonna look at the. Okay, but if Laffy like turned around to look at them, could she have read their lips and have been like, "What? What are they?"
Yeah, sure.
What?
They were. You saw their lips form the word Drumthun, the Soulsmith.
No.
And they looked like they were speaking about how they had commissioned something from him, and they had just recently obtained it. And they were just kind of like, ha, yeah, I haven't gotten to try it yet, but it looks like it's good.
Laffy pats Ren's arm and is like, "So what they said was they commissioned something from a guy named Drantham, the Soulsmith."
Isn't that the name of the guy that they met at the entrance?
It is.
That's who we met, actually.
Yeah, well, you know, I guess he's a soulsmith.
What you need in a
Smith and
soul.
What does a soulsmith do? Do they make souls? Do they meld souls into bodies? Do they put them into something else?
Do they fix vessels?
Ren, know what a soulsmith is?
Yeah, soulsmiths can imbue the souls of the dead into items and can fix the vessels that have been broken. They basically they can create items out of souls.
Ren gets up.
Well,
Hey.
does Bran tell them this?
Oh yeah, if
Yes. I would
Bran
assume
tells
Bran told them that.
Ren gets up.
Oh, friend. Okay.
Oh,
Where are we going?
You're around to Ika, aren't you? Do you even know where you're going?
Well, we're probably going to find that guy
where did he-
again.
Yeah, where did he say he was? That
Show us.
sounding. Yeah.
Drum thing.
Where is that? Where is that? And she's looking at Bran.
Does
We
does
gotta-
Bran
we
know
gotta
where
find-
exactly this
Ugh.
No, he doesn't.
Sigil's a big... Bran just shrugs. Sigil's a big place, dear.
Ren looks over at the table that was speaking and like walks over to them.
Laffy is like, oh my god.
And one of them is a
Yeah,
dragonborn, and the other looks to be like a person made out of slime.
Bran sort of leans over just to watch this with another amused look on his face.
Sorry, I overheard the word soulsmith. I was looking to have some work done. I was wondering if you could tell me where to find him.
The slime person just kind of bubbles and like, and the dragonborn goes, what my friend was trying to say is that Drumthun, is that who you're looking for?
That's the one.
Well, he doesn't come cheap, but he works out of a shop over in the, what is it called again? He leans over to his friend. The Creathom district. Very well known as a powerful soulsmith. And from what we understand, also maybe a smuggler, but you do not hear that from me.
Smuggler.
Not.
That's silly.
I'm glad you think so.
I didn't hear a word. Thank you so much.
Of
and she returns to the
course.
table.
As Laffy follows Ren, and she's like,
Yeah.
Ren, and very seriously, she puts a hand on his arm, and she's like, listen, I know that your sister is of the utmost importance, but he's not gonna take a very sad story. He's gonna want money.
Yes, but we also sort of have leverage.
Well, you see, this is what we can do. We can go there and see what he wants for it, if we can just get it for the favor, or if we need money, and once we know how much money, then we can make that much.
We don't want to make enemies so early on.
True, but
Especially
Ren gives her
especially
a look like enemies are the last thing on her mind, and she does not give a shit.
Luffy is like, listen. If there are let's just assume that there are very few soulsmiths in the city, right? We do not want one of the few to dislike you in the event that anything happens.
Alright, but I still think we should see what he wants for it, because you know how
That's-
many currencies there might be in this place.
I
That's
agree.
sensible.
How about we talk it out with the man before we go threatening
Yes.
him for anything? There's a reason why I gave him the money at the gate.
That's sensible. I'm just saying, let's not hold anything more over his head. Everyone has a breaking point.
At this point, the changeling has brought over these steaming plates. It kind of smells like beef, but boy, it doesn't look like beef. It looks kind of like gelatinous, almost. And it's a little greenish.
Luffy digs the hell in. She doesn't give a damn.
All right,
Bran just cuts into it, takes a bite.
it's
Luffy will eat anything.
Luffy. It tastes like good beef, and Bran, you're used to it. You're like, yeah, this is just kind of normal food for you.
Yeah, it's not great, it's alright. Not the best she's ever had.
Yeah, Miss totally tries it. She's really excited to try some weird shit.
Ren gives
Luffy
her
taps
ring.
the table. Luffy taps the table for a wrench. She's like, you need to eat too.
We need to get our strength up, especially you from dying.
Right, well, you keep saying that you died? How? You don't look dead to me.
Right? Weird.
Ren takes another drink.
We don't actually know what's up. You know, you have a. There was a prophecy. There's a lot, you know. Yeah.
Prophecy.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a hua?
A what?
Hua.
A what?
Yeah.
Bran just looks at them blankly, can't say I have.
Well, neither did we, but they have it.
Cracks up. Okay. Do you know where the Crethon district is, Bran?
I assume Bran knows where the Crethon district is.
Yep, it's a good deal away from you guys.
It's quite a ways away. Long
Well,
walk.
I think that's where we might be heading, before too long. Actually, out of curiosity, she considers and she's like, alright, well, first of all, how far away is it? Because I don't know if we want to find a place to stay before we go there, or just want to go.
Would it be like a couple hours walk? Or...
Yeah, it would be a couple hours walk, and you would distinctly be traveling uphill for a portion of it.
Well, you're going to like this part. We'll be traveling up,
Oh, that's exciting.
but it's a couple of hours walk. I mean, if you're all really impatient, we can go now. Or
But-
if you'd rather find a place to.
But Bran, it's not just a walk, and you know that.
Oh yes, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
He's gonna let that be a surprise.
Oh my
Okay.
god. Okay.
They're gonna get the teleport.
God. Mist looks to the others, mostly Ren. But she's like, we really need to rest at some point, but we also need to get there. So would you rather try to go there first, or try to find a place where we can try to take all this in and settle down some?
Laffy puts a hand on Bren's shoulder and is like, if you want to go now, I'll beat the shit out of anyone for you. Fucking
Likewise.
walking a mile ain't that hard.
I don't mind either thing, and that's why I'm asking.
Ren looks like she wants to go, but she also looks at Laffy and Mist like, hey, look! They're kind of beat up.
Laffy actually looks like roughed up, but like all of her wounds are closed. Like she doesn't look as bad as she could be.
Yeah, Mist.
She doesn't look rough. She just looks like she exited a kerfuffle. You know?
By the way,
Yeah.
Saint has been like wandering around all the time and getting pats from everybody.
Yes.
Laffy distractedly gestures to Satan and is like, he's fine too. Look at him. He just makes friends everywhere. What a good boy.
He really seems to have taken to this place.
He's familiar with it.
It
He
does.
knows here.
Yeah, it makes sense. You know, I wonder if he came from here.
Where'd you happen to pawn this dog anyway?
Tied to his tree in a swamp.
Why would someone leave a dog in a... what?
You know,
Your guess is as good as mine, because he's
You know-
not speaking.
Mist looks to Laffy, but also to Ren, and says with telepathy to both of them, is like, you know, Fridiel seemed to recognize Saint. Do you think that he knew of him before?
And Ren says aloud, I'm trying to block that part out of my mind.
Laffy
Look.
chooses to ignore that Fridiel could ever know Saint, and it's just like, oh, such a good boy. Unhelpful, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mist just kind of shrugs. But yes,
Okay.
no, we found him by a swamp.
He can heal people.
He's a really good boy.
Saint and Borscht in the distance.
You can pet him for a few
Your
minutes,
dog can
maybe even a
heal
second.
people.
Yeah!
I'm guessing that is also unprecedented to Bran.
Yep.
That's odd.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
for
an,
you.
he's an extraordinary dog.
He really is.
By the way, Bram, you are very familiar with dogs. It seems like on every plane of existence there are dogs.
Dogs are important, man.
Yeah, makes perfect
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
The
Gotta have-
gods of the universe.
Yeah. So around right now, that Dragonborn you spoke to earlier kind of walks over to the table and sits down and goes, "Well, you're all an interesting looking lot.
I
Hello.
was surprised to see more of my own kind in Sigil.
It is a bit unusual, isn't it? Especially outside of the conclave." And he smiles this awful, like, just wicked, razor sharp smile.
What are you supposed to be, anyway? The rudest question to ask.
He looks at Ren and, like, I could ask
he's
you
a
the same.
lizard. I mean, a
I.
dragon.
He looks at you,
He's
Bran,
the-
and just. They're new, right?
No, it's as new as it gets. I don't even think they have Dragonborn in their world.
What?
One would
What?
wonder how they've even gotten along this far. Anyway, yes, I am a Dragonborn. Specifically, I'm an Emerald Dragonborn.
Laffy is gonna say to him in Draconic, but your scales are silver.
He just sighs and looks away.
I mean, copper, sorry. I'm drunk.
No, it's not the bartender. It's the one that Ren spoke to earlier.
Oh, well.
His scales are indeed an emerald color.
Oh, well, Laffy's drunk. Laffy's like, oh, wait, upon further inspection. Sorry, I'm not used to this drink.
Don't mind her, they've had a long day. I can't imagine it's very easy realizing that your world is just one of billions.
Yeah, you know,
I remember when my people came through.
shipwrecked and thrown through another plane. Is that how it happens? Is that how it happens for everyone?
Oh no, we tore open the veil in an effort to take over the world.
I remember that, actually.
It was only about 30 years ago. It was a bastard of a time.
So was there a war?
Oh no, we just died.
They learned the hard way that you don't take over Sigil.
The lady, well, she showed up and basically killed everybody.
Except
least-
you, so...
Well, she killed everybody but those who immediately bent the knee.
Wise.
It's very incredible how you gaze upon this shape and you either piss yourself or you drop to one knee. Kind of an either or scenario.
Wait. So you have seen the lady with your own 2 eyes?
Oh, she showed up to fuck us up.
What she look like?
I'm curious as well.
He sits back and for the first time you see his wings kind of unfurl and then wrap around him like a cloak almost.
Wappy is like, "Eek!" Like, all excited.
Miss
And-
is also excited.
He smiles at you, Brandon. You know he's showboating. He is just
Brand-
trying to be impressive.
Brand grins along and just lets him go along with it. He's alright with it.
Well, you see, she's about 15 feet tall, but I've heard she can be as tall as she needs to be. That's just, the rumor. But, have you ever seen a lake? A calm lake? Is that a word?
Yes.
Oh, right, that is a word where you come from. Well, she looks sort of like a lake, where you know that there's something in there that will completely and utterly destroy you if you are foolish enough to jump in, but if you abide by the rules, she will leave you be. And to be frank, she was fairly attractive.
I knew it.
Lots of spiky leather and very 15-foot tall assets, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, buddy.
Ah, lady. He
Brand,
reaches over and clinks his mug against yours, Laffy.
Brad pats the dragonborn and is like, better not let the cops hear you say that.
Oh, you're right. Shit.
They are respectful. What is the word? What is the word? Adulations, exaltations, exaltations.
I like the way you think. What is your name, small
Lafayette.
half one? Lafayette. Oh, strange name. I am Draw.
Draw.
Draw, yes.
Nice.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too.
Mist is writing all this down excitedly.
He looks over at you, Miss.
So,
You write a lot.
I do.
she's a scholar.
She's basically been in that book since I found them outside the city.
I mean, it turns out very helpful later.
A scholar?
She does.
Do you work for the Duchess of Knowledge?
Oh? I don't think so. Is that someone here?
He looks at you, Brandon. Would you care to explain, or shall I?
I'll let you explain this one, thanks.
Oh, you told them about planes, right?
Oh, yes.
Oh, planes is a fucked up one to talk about. Well, there's the Duchess of Knowledge, and she is another of the rulers, along with the Lady of Pain, the Master
Lord
of
of Dominion.
Planes, and the Lord of Dominion. The Duchess of Knowledge is the keeper of all of the knowledge that has been gathered from all of the planes. If you have a question, her scholars can likely give you the answer, but it's not always so simple.
Really?
Oh, aye. If they don't know, nobody does.
Mist looks curious at this, and she's like, where do you find these scholars?
Where do you find any scholar? The library.
Where's the library?
Well, you see, I don't really know.
Oh,
I'm
is
not
it
the
like...
I'm not the literary sort.
Fair enough. You know, I imagine this might be like a tall order considering how big this place is. But are there like maps of the city anywhere?
No.
I
Sir,
feel sorry for anyone trying to map this place.
right?
People
It's
must get lost here all the time.
I
You
would
sort
get
of
lost
get
here
your
the
bearings
moment.
after a while.
Or you simply settle down where you are and you deal with it.
Is
Red
that the
sort of
thing
like
that happens to people?
gestures to him in agreement.
Of course, that's what happens to people. That is
So-
that is how my people were, at least. It was you found land. If you did not want to move from the land, you made it yours.
I mean, fair enough.
Here's a question, just to double back for a second.
Mhm.
You said you tore open Seville, right? So
Mhm.
was plane travel not heard of in your world too at first? Until you opened Seville to Sigil?
Oh, it was theorized. They
Hmm.
did think that there must be more. Uh, I am no expert, though. I could point you towards one of the elders that did not die.
That would be interesting.
Laffy looks at Mist for that, because
I'd be curious to see that as well.
Well, then that. We are over in the Corathal district. Sir, have you explained the districts to them yet?
I haven't really had the chance. I've mostly just been answering the boundless questions they've had.
we've had a lot of questions.
Oh, I'm certain you have. Well, the districts are not so simple, but as your companion said, you do kind of get the hang of it, or you just kind of stay wherever you are. But the Corathal district, if you go about a mile and a half skyward, and you take a sharp right turn, about, I don't know, at the gargoyles. And you'll know the gargoyles. You know the gargoyles, right, blonde you? Half-elf, my mistake. You know the gargoyles, right, blonde
I
half-elf?
do know the gargoyles, yes.
Oh, they are a fun place. But if you take a sharp right at the gargoyles, you will come upon my people, and you may get to speak with the elder. He is a very forthcoming man.
Can you tell us his name?
Oh, I do not know his name. We do.
Oh.
We call him Master Zed.
Alright. Well, thank you for that.
Of course,
Should
it
have
is.
had that
It
way
is
at
the
some point.
way of a Sigillian to help out. It is. I am certain that is why your companion has been helping. We must
We're all
help.
in this mess together, right?
Exactly, and it is a hell of a city. Hell of a city.
It really is.
Yeah, what would the uppy downy buildings and shit.
That's so amazing!
Make sure you don't fall off.
Whoa, wait, you can
That-
fall off.
You absolutely can fall off. I wouldn't recommend it.
That seems very interesting. You know,
So
what if
it-
I was to teleport from here up there? Would I fall, or would I just land up there?
If you jump too high from a rooftop, do you just start falling?
No, it doesn't work like that.
Are you sure?
You'd have to jump pretty high.
Well, what about 500 feet high? This looks like she might
Possibly a
literally
bit
try
more than
this.
that. City's quite
Friend.
large.
Ren, drink some more.
Just do me. Just trust me. You don't want to fall off. You will. There's no getting you back.
Okay, good to know.
The Dragonborn looks over at you, Renan. What's your story, Mopey One? got a dour expression where all of your companions look like they're having a good time.
I just assumed it was a normal face.
We got to get something fixed.
We do.
Well, only City on all the planes that can fix anything you need fixed. The price
Yeah,
might be
that's
high, but
probably the price.
he leans in a little bit. Speaking of price, Blonde Sir, you said they were new, right?
First day here.
What is the currency of your world, if I might ask?
Gold.
Oh, surprising.
All right. That is what they all come here saying. Oh, we trading gold. Useless! Useless fucking metal. You know what you do with gold? Nothing!
Melt it down. Oh.
Not even. You do nothing with it. It is useless.
I thought it was like a rife cockering business.
No, what is worth lots around here? What is the currency that everyone would want?
The
The
chut.
currency is her! Don't you
Brand
remember?
pulls out a chut coin and places it on the.
Luffy
the
points
table.
at the Chuck coin and is like, see? Her!
I mean, listen, there might be more than just that one. That's what
No,
I'm
it's
asking.
about that one.
Alright.
Standardized currency and all. It's very complicated, but very easy.
Fortunately, the exchange rate for gold coins isn't too great.
I mean, it sounded like it. If everyone has it, no one wants it.
We mostly make children's toys out of it, in truth. It's good for teething because it's so soft.
I mean, you know, on the upside, if we do ever go back, maybe we could get a bunch of toys and they could be worth a lot.
Trust me, a world that trades in gold's not a world worth going back to.
Excuse
Yeah,
you.
wait.
I want to go back to my world. It sucks, don't get me wrong, but it's mine.
Oh, you've just not been here long enough, dear.
We have business to attend to back
Says
there.
a social revolution. There are structures that need to be. I'm so drunk. I need another drink.
He motions to the changeling, and she brings over, or it brings over something, or they bring over something mysterious looking.
Mist is
Fluffy.
immediately interested.
Does Bran recognize it?
Yes.
Can I make a check
Oh,
to
dear.
ensure it won't kill me?
No.
No!
You're too drunk. No, go ahead, but with disadvantage.
Okay, what do I have to roll?
Nature.
Nature.
Okay, alright. I got. What's the plus that I have to intelligence? Excuse me. I gotta look. Alright. Bam! Ba-bam.
Oh. Nah. It looks delicious.
Oh my god.
Bottoms up, bitch!
Make a Constitution saving roll
Alright.
or saving throw.
Bran is just watching this with another grin.
Bran, you know what is actually a nameless drink? In fact, you just order that drink and every bar knows which one you are talking about.
God.
And Laffy,
Is it pleasant going down?
It is.
What's it taste like?
it tastes like a rainbow going down.
Oh my god.
And then it hits your stomach, and you just kind of lose focus, and you stare back, or you stare at nothing, and you see the universe unfolding before your eyes. You see creation happening. You see the Big Bang in all of its glory, and you see life beginning from single-cell organisms, and then you see them learning magic, and it is beautiful. It is life beginning, and it is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen.
Miss is watching Laffy, and she was gonna ask how it was, but you could probably see by that expression how it was. She's like, that looks really good.
Man, you had to give them that drink, didn't you?
Oh, it is the fucking thing you give people the first time they come. Here, not.
Fluffy is leaning back in her chair and she's like, I can taste infinity!
I want one. I want one.
No, you don't! Infinity tastes. It tastes bad, miss. It tastes real bad.
Enjoy it while it lasts. The first
I-
rush is always the best.
The changeling has brought over enough for the whole table if the table would like them.
Bran is going to drink his, but he's just taking like small like sips of it.
Okay, you get to make a Constitution saving throw with advantage.
Okay.
Fluffy is looking at Ren like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
Ren is looking at the mug. Well, I haven't died yet, and she just drinks it. She just straight up drinks it.
Bran,
Yeah,
you
miss.
you enjoy this. It's giving you like a slight like high basically, and you feel smarter almost. Give yourself a +1 to intelligence until your next short rest,
Hey.
or short or long rest. All right, the rest
Magic
of you,
drinks.
Yeah, Miss drinks it too. She's,
Alright.
She's excited.
do your thing.
Constitution.
Both of you are going on the fucking ride of your lives.
Fun.
Again, you are watching creation unfold before you. You are seeing the majesty, the complexity, and the simplicity of how
Ren looks like her
everything
brain
works.
hurt. She didn't need to know this.
Miss is super fucking excited. This is exactly what she wanted.
It's almost enough to make you cry. In fact, it might be enough to make you cry.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any feelings left to cry, so she doesn't.
Oh.
Okay.
Miss is just crying a little, and she covers her face.
Laffy, you're coming down from it as they hit the spike.
Fluffy reaches over to hold Mist's hand.
Miss just hugs
Yeah.
Floppy.
It's a lot to take in. It's a lot. Oh, buddy.
This is amazing.
Fluffy looks at the Emerald Dragon, shows a drawl, and she's like, did we just get hazed?
Something like that.
No, I would rather call it a welcome.
It's a
Better
good
you
welcome.
do it amongst friends than you get
Oh,
you get it
definitely.
slipped to you because your friend was right. You only get it that bad the first time. After that, it's entertaining, but you don't see everything, quite literally.
Don't get to witness the joys of creation a second time.
Aye.
That's unfortunate.
God, I feel like I would have enjoyed that more if I was warned. I feel like I squandered it a little bit.
Mist may or may not be smoking weird eldritch energy a little bit. But she's still holding on to Laffy.
Fluffy just pats Mist's head like, it's okay. It's okay.
Well, it was nice meeting all of you, but I should get back to my slime friend. He's a bit shy.
Tell him I said
Good to
hello.
me too.
And you guys hear those slimes.
Does Mist understand that?
No, because it's not a language, it's just slime.
Oh.
It's just slime.
I was under the impression that it was primordial.
No, it's just slime.
Okay.
It's the language of slime.
It's hardly even a language. It's like the language of the swamp bubbles.
Oh my god.
Something somehow understands it, but no one's sure how.
Fluffy is like, woo, well, alright. So, I feel some kind of way. Once you guys are down from that high, do we want to go see that guy with the mustache and the dirt? Fluffy says mostly to Ren.
Yes,
because-
we never decided that, did we?
Ren is just sort of sitting with her head on her arms on the table and it's like, sure.
Alright, let's sober up first.
I don't want to, honestly.
Ren still has one of her hands though in like her pocket, and it's been there the entire time, basically.
Oh.
We gotta get
Ren.
that thing fixed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we're gonna wait to sober up and then go see the guy.
Shockingly enough, you sober up very quickly. Like,
Oh.
jarringly fast. Like, one moment, you're just like, you're super drunk, the next, you're just fine.
Wow.
Oh, that's weird.
That was weird. Usually
Well,
I'm
he
trying
looks-
to experiment on people, but no, not this time.
Buffy looks at her hands to see if she's grown any extra fingers.
No.
Okay, she's just checking, you know.
As she do.
She stands up and she's like, "What? Let's go! I don't know where we're going. Hey,
Make-
Brad!" And she finger guns at him.
Creathon
just, like-
District.
Bran just like gives her another bow and is like, "Follow me then."
Ren looks around the room for Saint and is like, "Come on, let's go."
He's like practically skipping.
Bran
And
gives
they're-
Saint some scritches when he comes up to the group.
As they're going, she's like, "Listen, far be it for me to volunteer as a whole group, but here's what I'm gonna do. So as a whole group, we need money at some point, and you've been helping us out a lot. So if you need some sort of something with your mercenary work, they were kind of mercenaries once."
Well, I typically work alone these days, but I suppose I can help out for a while.
I mean, we'd really appreciate it. We don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Why
I'm
not?
really good with a dagger.
How are you now?
And I never get lost.
I can do some interesting things.
Like some of the giant massive tentacles.
Yes, I could do something like that.
Well, you three are the most interesting thing I've seen in Sigil for a long time, so I have nothing
Also-
better to do.
I'm
That-
apparently
thank you.
immortal.
You're immortal.
Allegedly.
Supposedly.
I recommend not testing that unless
Yeah,
you have to.
let's not do that again if we can help it.
What if it only works once? Like, I want to test fate.
Maybe it doesn't work on our plane. We don't know.
Ren shrugs her shoulders and she's like, "I was offered death as my choice for coming here. If it was
True.
that,
You know what? You know, honestly, I think that the choices we. You know what? I could talk about this later.
I think we have a
Bobby,
soulsmith to
Brad,
see, don't we?
She's like, we have a bunch of weird shit. Let's go see the soulsmithy.
Well, if nothing else, I'll get a good song out of it.
Oh, you
song?
sing?
Oh, right, I forgot to tell you. I'm a bard.
Really?
no
So
wonder you
how,
were interested in stories."
how do you do
Makes
this
sense now.
mercenary thing? Do you just and she like makes a plucking motion and she's like, "To sleep? Like what?"
Bran like sort of adjusts his cloak to where she can see the hilt of his rapier.
Ren squints
Oh.
at it.
She's like, "You should put that away. That's just, she had a rapier once. Anyway, the soulsmithy," and she just starts walking.
You know, you wouldn't happen to know a bard named John, would you?
John. Can't say I have.
Alright, because apparently where we're from, that bard was singing about us.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you guys
Go
start
on.
walking for about. You've been walking for about an hour and a half before you come across this chasm that you just cannot walk across. And there's a few people like gathered around a circle, and a flash of light occurs, and they're gone.
Mist looks. She
Oh,
looks
right.
really
I
curious.
completely forgot to mention that. We're going to have to take a short-range teleporter to get over to that sector.
Really? Oh, that's exciting. Wait, a teleporter? Like a spell? Or is it like Mist immediately just uses Eldritch Sight to answer a fucking question and looks where all the people were to see if there's like magic or if it's like some weird mechanical thing like an art or what it is.
It is magical, but not wholly magical.
Miss tilts her head. She's like, well, that's partly magical, but not entirely. Interesting. So it's not just a spell. These are like things around the city. Where are we gonna go?
To the
Can you
district.
can we see the district from where we are?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bran just points vaguely in that direction, wherever the district is.
It's like you would appear on the other side of this chasm, and you can actually see it's the beginning of a rather sharp slope.
Can they look down the chasm? Because Miss wants to look down the chasm.
Absolutely.
She does it.
You look down the
Mom
chasm,
looks down the chasm.
and you get the biggest sense of vertigo you've ever gotten because there's literally nothing.
Miss.
It's not black. It's like the purple of night, with
Luffy's
stars
like,
all
"Oh."
around it.
Yeah, that's what I meant about not wanting to fall off. You don't, you just kind of don't stop.
Oh my god.
Miss is just staring at it for a bit, like she's weirdly into this nothing thing. But
Jesus
Miss,
Christ.
no.
I'm
Miss,
not
no.
I'm not going to jump in it. Don't worry.
I worry.
Well, I guess you can, but I'm not going to for now.
Luffy looks at Bran like, look at this. Look at what I have to deal with.
Bran gives her like this very like I'm sorry kind of look.
So what do we have to do? Just stand in this thing?
Well, first we have to pay the gatekeeper.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, everything costs so much.
You need to pay the gatekeeper because we're still poor.
Unfortunately.
Well, luckily it's all too expensive.
Alright.
So you guys approach, and there's what looks like a goblin standing there, hand outstretched, just looking really bored. And, pay up.
Bran hands him the 20 chuds, 5 for each of them. Does Saint does he have to pay for Saint too? Or does
No.
Saint- Okay.
Dogs get away for free.
Of course,
Yeah,
he is their dog.
buddy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
of course.
Who doesn't love dogs? He jerks his head off to the side. Proceed. And when you guys step on, you wait a second.
Tentatively steps into the circle and
Okay.
takes a bit because she's like a cat when you move all the furniture.
What is this shit?
If there are runes or whatever like on the thing, Miss is writing them down. She's copying down everything she can.
Okay, there's some runes, but not many. Which again makes sense because it's not wholly magical.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys stand on it for a second, and there's a bright flash of light, and you blink, and when you stop, and then when you unblink, basically, you're on the other side of the chasm. And it actually, for a moment, feels like you were standing on a wall. And then your world kind of rights itself.
Luffy, so just as a question, is there like a place that you can step off to the side?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Luffy is gonna go and she's like, "Ugh,
Bran walks up and just kind of like pats her on the back. We'll get used to it, I promise.
I don't think I'm ever gonna get used to it.
Miss looks back and looks forward and looks excited, and she's like, I want to teleport all the ways there are to teleport. Almost.
Yeah.
No.
Ren kind of like she doesn't puke, but she looks unsteady and she looks very unhappy.
Oh no.
Oh, and can we see like the innermost ring from here?
Yes, you can.
Oh shit.
If you guys look out to like the upper left, basically, you can see that there's this slowly rotating inner ring. Ren, make another perception check.
Okay.
I know. Or Ren and
Alright.
Laffy.
Okay.
Is it gonna be the same?
A natural
Oh
one.
no!
She's real fucked up.
Yeah,
from having
Laffy,
this girl.
you're having the worst time you've ever had. Ren,
Oh my God.
this reminds you of something.
What does it remind her of?
It reminds you of the center ring of Ardor,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Ren pauses, looks at it, looks away, does a double take, and is like, wait a minute.
Miss
Does this remind
looks
you
to
of
Ren,
anything?
and then looks to where Ren's looking and squints.
Bran
Does it
also
look? Does it
looks
look
where
like?
they're looking.
Does it look like the metal ring? That
Sort of. It is definitely, like, wrapped around it. It is, that metal ring is there. Like, exactly that. But within is kind of like a dome.
Well, that's familiar.
That's
Fluffy
weird.
disorientedly is gonna come and try to look at what they're looking. She's like, "What the fuck are you looking at?"
It
Miss
looks like,
points.
it looks like Otter.
It looks like that metal ring we've been seeing all over the fucking place.
Having had that pointed out to her, does Luffy put two and two together?
Yes, absolutely.
Luffy is like, oh, buddy, okay.
You've seen
that's strange.
You've seen the center ring before?
Yeah, at
That
home.
doesn't make sense.
Sort of.
What is this?
Home.
Is this the only place that ring is then?
Yes.
Bran just sort of nods, like that's the center ring of Sigil. That's where they live.
Oh.
They.
Well,
The rulers.
the human city in our world has that shape.
That's
Furthermore,
fascinating.
that metal ring around the outside, those have been appearing around all the portals that we've encountered, including the one that brought us here.
We are
That's
so out of our depth.
very fascinating.
This is weird. Why is this happening?
Your guess is as good as mine.
So many questions.
Ren
so
kind
many
of-
things we don't
Ren
know.
kind of stops, looks at Bran, and is like, I'm sorry in advance for anything we get you involved in.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
right.
We're
sorry
gonna get you
for
involved in
anything I
something.
get you involved in.
Well, I mean, I'm
Fair
there for
enough.
it.
Yeah, I'm down.
Alright, is that all?
Yep.
As they're walking away, Luffy's like, I don't think we know how to live without trouble anymore, so. So
It's
I find that
much more
trouble-
exciting, honestly.
Right? See, I like her.
Miss
do I.
Giggles.
So yeah, as you guys are walking, you have to stop and ask for directions about once or twice, and you just ask for Dromthen's shop, and most of the people in the area you're in now can point you in that direction. So about 2 hours later, you guys find your way to the store, and it's a very simple storefront, but you do hear the sound of, like, not quite clinking metal, but like glass clinking against each other, coming from within.
Before they enter, Luffy, and it speaks volumes that Luffy is the one saying it, looks to Ren, and she's like, you gotta play it cool.
Bran opens the
kind of-
door.
Don't
Okay.
threaten, but
Um,
maybe persuade.
The inside looks sort of like a very, like, gentle smithy, for lack of a better term.
A gentle smithy?
Yes, it's not like there's not a scorching fire, and it's not hot, and there's not a very big sweaty man or woman behind a forge slamming on something. But it's still very similar. It's like you can hear this clinking sound of metal on metal, and it's Dromthen's sitting at the back of the shop, just kind of tapping a ruby against this glass like structure. And there's cold applied to it, and you can hear like the hissing of ice forming over the glass before he shatters it with a little ruby. And he looks up and goes, "Oh, my friends, hello, hello."
Funny how Sigil's such a big city and yet can be so small sometimes, eh?
Funny, yes, it's, Now what can I do you for? You found out I was a soulsmith, eh?
Yeah, apparently one of us wants some sort of business from you.
Is that so? Well then, he puts his, like, his chin on his hand and smiles a little bit. Who would like some soul smithing done?
I
Anyone?
would.
Right. Didn't take you for the sort. Well,
Ren,
what would you like done? Soul bound to a phylactery so you never actually die.
You can do that?
Well, it's not exactly legal, but you know, you've already seen what I do, so hey.
Yeah, that's fair.
For now, let's keep it
I-
on the more legal side.
Right,
I
right.
have a question. Would Lofty
Uh-huh.
be able to look around and be like, "This is necromancy"?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's absolutely a form of necromancy.
Mist wants to look around too. She wants to look
Lofty just
weird
silently respects the fact that it's necromancy.
Ren pulls the cracked gem out, and she's like, "I need this repaired."
Oh, that's a vessel, isn't it? May I? May I?
Just be careful with it. And she reluctantly hands it over.
And he takes it in very gentle hands, like he is used to handling something of this magnitude. He's holding it very respectfully, and he lifts it to the light and looks at it and goes, "It looks like the soul in here died several times over. Twice, I would say.
Something like that.
Interesting. I do not take you for the sort to have a soul vessel. No offense, but coming from a backwater plane like you, I was unsure."
It fell into my hands.
Oh, I see. Well, I can certainly repair it, and I might be able to draw the entirety of the soul back to it, but it would not be cheap, unfortunately.
I didn't expect it to be.
What kind of price are we talking?
1,500 chuts, I would say, to repair, another 2,000 to draw the soul from the astral sea.
Okay.
Well, that's going to be quite a bit of work.
Better question. What can I do for you to earn that?
Oh, see, this is why I like you. This is why I like you. And he kind of wags his finger at you guys. I have several jobs that may need doing. Let's see. And he raises a hand. I do need a suit of armor from the Fey Plains.
The Fey Plains?
Aye, it is.
Oh, God.
I am owed it from a Fey, and well, let us just say that they are loath to part with it.
I would imagine.
I require steel from the fire plane, which is a bit simpler, if not more uncomfortable, I suppose. He laughs a little bit. And third of all, well, I need a book.
A book.
Aye, a book. A specific
Mist
book.
looks up at this.
It is a book that is about, well, you know, mayhap it's better that I do not tell you what the book is about, but I do need it from a plane called Barovia.
Oh my god. I
Is
know
that-
what that is.
Actually, I'm rather curious what the book might be about. Mist has been writing this down the entire time, notably in her own book.
Let us simply say that these jobs, no questions asked.
Barovia.
Mist raises her eyebrows, almost like
Barovia is Strahd, you guys.
Oh
Like-
no!
All I know about Barovia is that it neighbors Transylvania.
No. I might be able to sweeten the deal a little bit in exchange for the no questions asked portion. Dear girl, and he looks at you, Ren. What did you use this gem for? It is more than a simple vessel. It had a purpose, I can tell.
I enchanted a weapon with it.
Would you like to enchant armor with it?
Ren blinks. I mean, it used to make it glow.
Well, it would not make it glow, but it would let it... You could talk to the armor, and it would give the vessel a body to move around in again. It would be difficult to use as a weapon, of course, but...
Oh my god. and turn her sister into Alphonse.
I was just thinking that.
Opening her mouth, closing her mouth, opening her mouth again. Right, no questions asked. My lips is sealed.
Mist looks like she has even more questions now.
Well then,
She-
I would need all 3 jobs completed.
All 3?
I'm sure we can do that.
you know,
The steel
I
should not
always-
take you very long. It is just elemental steel. It is.
I always wanted to see fairies, though, you guys. You guys.
You might change your mind about that.
Probably. Changed my mind about a lot of things.
this isn't a question about the tasks you gave us, but more about what you can do.
Mhm.
Is there a way to put a soul into a living body?
Oh no, absolutely not. You see, the living body always have it is always occupied. Aye, it is living. You cannot put a soul in a vessel in which a soul already exists. It is simply impossible, or else you have 2 souls existing side by side, and then they vie for dominance, and that is very, very bad.
What can a soul be removed and you put a different one in?
No, that is an art beyond mine, I'm afraid, and beyond soulsmithing. It is
But it does exist then.
dark. It is bad. It is evil.
Good to know.
Now, I like you. So perhaps I do not need all 3 done.
Which one would you say is the most pertinent?
Well, I would use the Fey armor if you wished the soul to have a vessel in which it could speak and move. I would be able to make a weapon out of the steel, but I would be able to make a grimoire out of the book. The book would not have it would not have. May I presume this is a familial soul, sad one?
My sister.
I would not be able to put your sister's soul into a book, I'm afraid, but
So what you're saying is she couldn't be Grimoire Vice?
no. But I could put another soul.
Ren looks between them all like, do we have another soul?
Miss looks
Luffy
at
is like,
Luffy.
I have another soul.
Oh.
So, just out of curiosity, right? What is Barovia like?
Oh. Have you ever heard of vampires?
Yeah.
It's said
And then-
that the Baron of Barovia, the ruler of the plane, actually is the original vampire. So it's
I'm
pretty
kind
fucked
of-
up.
Well,
Luffy looks at the other two and she's like, yes, but think about this. If you were, that's where you would go.
Ren nods. Ren
yeah.
follows her chain of thought. Also,
Yeah, Miss-
original vampire, maybe having answers as to how her sister was turned into a vampire. Yeah, she's in.
Luffy is like, alright, so at least you go to the Fey plane first if you want.
Right,
your sister
so we're
as
going
a-
to get
as an
to-
armor.
Parley with fairies, dodge fire elementals, and fight vampires.
No,
right,
no.
so is that what you want, Ren? Do you want your sister into armor or?
Yeah, then she can't one up me. I'm not sure.
You're sure about that?
Like, I mean, it's not like he doesn't need the steel from the fire plane, so we can go there anyway.
Oh yes, I would craft you a weapon regardless, but the sword can only go on one or the other. Though,
I have a soul for the grimoire, but we are going to take care of some things one at a time.
smart. I leave the tasks up to you. But once you return,
Beyblade first.
Yeah.
Or Barovia first.
Actually,
No. I want your sister at our side if we are going to Barovia.
yeah, good idea. But could you tell us anything more about these things you want, not for our knowledge, but just so we can find them in a plane that we've never been before?
Yeah, what's the armor look like?
Yes.
the armor is
And
very
who
much. It's very fey in design, and the creature that owes me is. Have you ever heard of a satyr?
No.
Have
Brand
we ever
gives him
heard of a
this
satyr?
look,
Yeah.
like you've been
No.
dealing with a satyr.
Bran has, but
Yeah.
yeah, the rest of you haven't. He looks at Bran and. Yes, it is. Shut up. Anyway, a satyr is like a man and. What is the word? He looks at Bran.
I think they're called goats.
Goat, okay. It is a man and a goat, but they are very tricky and are fond of games.
We're going to need to be on our toes if we're dealing with a satyr.
Red
Well, we
looks
have a
bit-
bard, and this one likes riddles, so.
Oh, riddles are awesome.
And this particular one, his name. Oh, what is his name? I feel bad, I forget. And he looks like he's actually contemplating it. Oh, his name is Trixley. It's very unoriginal.
I don't know if that's even his real name.
Oh, likely not, but I don't care.
Maybe his real name is like Clarence or something.
That would be embarrassing. I would be embarrassed for him. It is a very, very bad name.
Maybe we'll figure it out and you can have a laugh about it.
Oh, that would be wonderful. You are a true friend. Now, the armor itself is... Well, if I'm being frank with you, it is cursed. And it is why it is only suitable for my purposes.
Ah.
Do not put it on. Any of it. Unless you never want to be able to take it off. That is your decision, not mine.
Oh,
Good to know.
And it is... You will know it by sight, and I need not describe it to you. I will leave it at that. I am afraid to speak it aloud, I'm afraid. Ha, see, afraid twice. Very, very... Yes.
that's very afraid.
Yes, very afraid. Now, the steel, if you wish to seek it, is simply called elemental steel. It is guarded very fervently by the fire elemental, and the rights to mine it, if you would, or smith it, since it is steel. And he kind of just makes a gesture with his hand. It is a right reserved to the royal elemental family, and you would have to parley with them. And fire elementals, they are assholes.
Coffee looks to Mist and she's like, you can be diplomatic when you want. You speak to
So you want
Suburban
to
language.
steal it?
Hopefully.
I am only asking that you would retrieve the steel however you would retrieve it. And
The
then
best way I can describe a fire elemental is think of a fire, only it has a
Hot-headed?
personality.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
And then the book. Well, it is... Baron Strahd is the caretaker of the book. It is said to hold many secrets, and would prove a very, very powerful soul vessel.
Miss-
But you would need to retrieve it from the Baron himself. And he
The
is...
Baron himself.
He is loath to part with it, I'm afraid.
Well, maybe we'll be able to convince him.
I'm certain you will. You convinced me to let you in for free, after all.
We're very persuasive.
I can tell.
Hey, you got some money out of it.
I did. And it seems I am getting some very nice artifacts out of it, so...
In the long run, you're winning.
I see, this is why I am smart. This is why I do the favors I do. I never know. Anyway, I am
Yeah.
getting away from my point. If you perform 2 of these 3 tasks, I shall repair this soul vessel and bestow it upon an item of your choosing. You know my terms. Do you accept them?
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question. So
Aye?
let's just say I want to put the soul into the book. Do we have to do only 2 tasks?
For her sister's soul, it could not go into the book, I'm afraid.
Right.
But
I
if
know,
you wish to
but
put
if
another
I-
soul, then yes, you would perform 2 tasks. If you perform all
Alright.
3, I will do several for you. As I said, I can create soul-forged armor, a soul-forged blade, or soul-forged weapon. I am not going to presume.
no,
You may not want a
I-
blade. Or I can
I
create the
understand.
grimoire.
I just wanted to clarify since that was the price that we were working with. I didn't want to come back with the book and ask you to do it, and then you'd be like, "Here, have some chuts. I need chuts." So just making sure.
I will say, if you do bring the book alone will... I could turn the book by itself into a grimoire, and if you only bring me the book, I will do as much, because, quite frankly, that would be impressive.
We're gonna do one thing at a time.
I believe in you.
Thanks.
Now, is that all?
appreciate that.
Again, there is no formal contract. You must simply just bring the items to me, and we will get to work.
Alright.
Good to know. I have it all written down.
I've
This has
noticed.
been writing this whole time.
Now, have you any business that I can take care of immediately?
Not on my end.
You know what? Actually, more. I'm sorry to ask so many questions, but we are new here. Is there particular things we need to do in order to get to these planes, or is that just something we're going to have to figure out ourselves?
I forget that you are new. One moment, and he shuffles around to the back of the store and he spends a few minutes back there. And you hear the sound of shuffling around. And then he returns with
We got these.
he returns with some slips of paper and slaps him down and goes, "Use these.
Oh, thank you.
They will get you through. I would not. Do not
Don't flash
presume
those
they
around too much.
precisely, and do not presume they alone will get you through. They will simply be an aid. As your friend can tell, many times getting through a portal is not as simple as simply flashing your identification.
Okay, and in terms of once, theoretically, we get past that and we are in these planes, how do we get back?
Well,
Do
each
we
of
go
these...
the way we came?
Basically, yes. They have a portal that would be the return one. Or you could learn a spell. But that is expensive, I'm afraid.
Well, you can. There's a way to. You have a way to learn the spell.
I do not, but I know some people that do. It is, again, very expensive and it's very difficult to cast.
All right. Also good to know. Thank you.
If it's any solace, I go to other planes all the time and come back with no problem.
Yeah, I mean, that works.
It does. I guess we're going to have to see when we get there.
You know, Ven and Sigil, do as the Sigillians do.
Do not do
Is
as we
that
do.
what they
It is
say?
very embarrassing what we do.
When in Sigil, try to blend in, but ultimately exclude a few customs. That way you don't seem too strange.
He points to his eye and then points to you, Laffy, and smiles and goes, "I knew I had my eye on you for a reason. You are very, very smart."
Thanks.
Now then, with our business concluded, I must ask you to leave. I have work to attend to.
Alright,
I
thank you.
pray I see you shortly.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
You will, hopefully.
Also, keep an eye on your
Unless
dog.
we die. Would we keep an eye on Sate, says Laffy as she turns to look for Sate.
He's been sniffing around the store.
You know, can This is random, but can Mist look around to see if she recognizes anything in the store, like any particular symbols that might be here?
Yeah. Do a investigation.
Oh boy. I don't roll this very often. Investigation.
Ooh.
18.
You don't see any symbols you recognize.
Alright. Good to know.
Alright, so Dromthan kind of shoos you guys out a little bit, and as you head towards the door, you hear the sound that you came into. Is just the chick, 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 chick of him presumably returning to work.
Right, well, you three have found us some interesting work.
That's what we do.
Can't say I've ever been to any of those planes.
Let's
It's
take
good.
care of your sister first, Ren. I bet she'd be sick as a suit of armor.
Oh, she's going to hate me. More than she already does. Anyway,
But you'll be able to talk to her then, right?
And then she can tell you how much she hates you.
Yeah!
it'll be exciting. Anyway, let's get started. Actually, let's get some rest.
Yeah.
Recommend finding a nice place to stay, yes?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Any
I second
recommendations?
that.
Does Brand know of like any good inns nearby that are affordable?
The Yuck is nearby.
Yuck.
Yuck.
Yeah, Yuck!
Oh my god.
I know a place, but I loathe to say its name.
What's its name?
The Yuck.
Alright.
Cracks up.
Does Goofy own the tavern?
No.
Gorge.
You sure we're not in Traverse Town?
Yes.
Oh
So
my
Oh my god, I wish we were in Traverse Town.
you kinda are. Anyway,
Yeah, really.
yeah. You guys find the inn rather easily. Again, it has the name of EUCH, written in several languages. The same that you guys identified before, and then a few others that you couldn't identify. You go in, and the bartender is a revenant, as far as you can tell.
But we don't know what that is.
No, as far as you know, he looks dead, but lively. Weird.
Lofty is so interested in that.
Hello, my friend. Your skin is looking a very nice God, can't speak. Your skin is looking like a very nice shade of ashen today.
What do you want?
Lofty
Room.
peeks out behind Bran, and she's like starry-eyed at this new undead that she's never seen before.
Yeah, Mist also looks pretty excited.
Your friends are freaking me out. What do you need?
Sorry,
You're freaking me out. Shut up.
It's alright, they freak me out too.
Lofty
Good.
covers her eye and looks away.
You need
Mist
rooms.
looks at Loppy like this is how it feels.
You need rooms.
Brand turns back. The three of you wouldn't mind sharing a room, would you? I'll get one of my own. I want
Nah, we
Want to
do it
intrude
all
on
the
that?
time.
It's fine.
2 rooms then.
Right. That'll be 7 chuts.
Brand gives him the chuts.
Alright. And he passes over 2 keys and 3rd door on the right. 6th door on the left. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Brand hands one of the keys over to Ren.
Ren takes the key, gives him a questioning look, and then hands it to someone more reliable, like Lappy.
Yeah, don't.
Lofty is
Rich
gonna
is
go
just like,
sleep
"What?"
under the bed.
Okay.
Ren is gonna sleep on the floor.
I guess if no one else is sleeping on the bed, Mist is gonna sleep on the bed.
Brand,
Even though
Lofty
she doesn't
sleeps
sleep.
Brand is
underneath
at
it,
least
like some
somewhat
horrible
polite and got
bed.
his own room, so.
Luffy yells at Ren to sleep on the bed. Like she's like, Ren, this doesn't even sleep.
I don't.
Ren yells at Laffy that she likes the floor better. The floor is fine!
Laffy, like, waves at Ren vehemently from the bed like some terrible night horror.
Jesus.
Ren stretches vehemently at, like, the corner she's occupying and is like, it's fine! And she rolls out her bed, her bedroll for good measure.
How many cushions are there, though? That's the question.
Sorry, I just grossed myself out.
Ew.
What?
My
no.
belly button glue came off.
Oh
Oh
no.
Oh
no.
no!
So there's just a nice little red scar. Ew.
Ooh.
It's gross. Anyway, sorry. What was the question?
How many cushions are there in the room?
It's a very important question.
It is.
There's, I mean, not many. There's like 4 pillows total.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's a pretty
Miss
Spartan.
Rose one at Ren. And then she leans over the bed and throws one underneath it and laughs.
Yeah, like a terrible raccoon reaches up for a pillow.
Does either of you want another one?
Nah, I'm good.
I'm fine.
Is
Miss
there
towards
anything
the rest
under
of
the
them.
bed? Is there anything under the bed with loft?
No, it's just underneath the bed.
Okay. Alright.
It's just a bed.
What does
Jesus
this
Christ.
room look like, though? Is it fucking weird?
No, it is a very boring room. It is like
This is
every other
almost
in-room in
disappointing.
existence.
It's like, jeez.
Bran probably picked it out because of how mundane it looks.
Okay, so if everyone's resting, is
Yep.
everyone resting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we're gonna end for tonight.
Oh
Okay.
my god!
And next week, fairies.
Oh
Yep.
my god.
Oh,
Alright.
God.
Everyone say goodbye to the stream.
Bye,
Bye,
stream.
stream.
Next week will be fun. It'll be fairies.
Oh, hell yes.
Oh, fuck
Great.
me.
Nothing will go wrong.
Nothing.
Oh, it always
Absolutely
goes wrong when
Yep.
fairies are involved.
Alright, goodbye, stream.